Welcome to Newport. The New York Yacht Club puts on such a great regatta.
It looks like this year is going to be probably one of the most competitive editions of this regatta, so we're excited. So it's going to be competitive, and there's a lot of great sailors at this event, and that's why we're excited to be here.
Enjoy the Corinthian spirit that is the cornerstone of this event.
We're really looking forward to a great week.
San Diego Yacht Club issued another memo to the fleet on day 4 of the 2021 Rolex New York Yacht Club Invitational Cup that after a rough start to the regatta, they're now the fastest team on the water. But in the Rolex New York Yacht Club Invitational Cup, every race counts, and it's ultimately Southern Yacht Club still in command with a 9-point lead. The crew from New Orleans salvaged a 9th and 2nd in today's 2 races on a day that could have compromised their chances to win this event for a 2nd time. Of the boats that started the day in the top 7, only San Diego and Southern were able to avoid the sting of a double-digit finish. Royal Thames, Royal Cork, New York, Eastern, and Royal Canadian all had to swallow at least one finish of 10th or worse, and each club saw its chances of winning this event dwindle to a sliver.
The whole team effort just to get to this regatta, to raise the funds and support the sailors. And so I think they'd be ecstatic about that. And it's a very prestigious trophy for the yacht clubs to win. And winning it a 2nd time would be just as good, if not better, than the first time.
So today was much more of a head out of the boat day. Yesterday with Big Chop out in the ocean, it's a little bit different course. Kind of getting to the edges and going fast. But today, a lot of head out of the boat. Speed's been really good. But a lot of things could have gone better, worse. It's a little bit luck of the draw with isolated pressure coming up and down constantly. So, we had a game plan, we stuck to it. It ended up paying off, and we're just very happy that we're working hard and the team is putting all 100% effort into it.
Two races remain in this 7th edition of sailing's most prestigious Corinthian Big Boat Championship. Southern Yacht Club will have to work hard to hold off San Diego Yacht Club and hold on to the lead. And Royal Thames Yacht Club in 3rd overall also remains in contention. The 2021 Rolex New York Yacht Club Invitational Cup is brought to you by title sponsor, Rolex. Regatta sponsors, Hammett's Hotel and Helly Hansen. Supplier, Team 1 Newport. And hosted by the New York Yacht Club. 12 years ago, the New York Yacht Club organized an event that today has become the world's premier Corinthian keelboat competition. And in the past 7 biennial editions, 48 yacht clubs from around the globe have competed in this competition. Welcome to the final day of the 2021 Rolex New York Yacht Club Invitational Cup here in Newport, Rhode Island. I'm Tucker Thompson, once again joined by my good friend Andy Green, and the man in the middle here is our special guest. You'll recognize him from the America's Cup, the Volvo Ocean Race, among many other events. He is the president of North Sales and a Newport native, Ken Reed. It's great to have you with us, and I know you've been watching the competition all week. What is your take, your opinion of the Invitational Cup?
Well, first of all, New York Yacht Club has done an amazing job of just putting together an event that the world kind of needed, right? There's a void. There's a lot of professional sailors. We've all been professional sailing for a long time now. This void is filled with a first-class event for amateur sailors, something that there probably isn't enough of in the world. And by the teams that keep coming back time and time again, obviously they're having some fun when they're doing it.
And they're all amateur sailors. I know the very first edition of 29 did allow some pros, including you, and you were one of the people that pushed for get the pros off the boat, let's make it all amateur.
Can't be part pregnant. That's what I kept saying to the Commodores at the time, Phil Lotz, who I sailed with, and it's time to, it's just time to make this an amateur event and a real amateur event, and I'm really glad they did. It shouldn't be about the pros, and the pros were kind of taking over the rhetoric at that time.
Let's keep it all amateur. You wouldn't know these sailors, Andy, are amateur by the level of the competition. We join the action on the final day. 2 races scheduled today. Take us through the leaderboard.
Well, at the moment, Southern Yacht Club are leading. They have 39 points, 9 points back. San Diego Yacht Club on 48, and then the Royal Thames on 54. They're 15 points back. Royal Cork on 61 in 4th, and the New York Yacht Club in 5th on 75. Now, in the history of this cup, there has only been one team, and that was in 2019, that managed to let the lead slip away from them on the final day. That was San Diego Yacht Club. The roles quite reversed this time. Now, in 2019, they had 3 races, and San Diego Yacht Club started with an 18th. So there's only 2 races today, but the opportunity for San Diego Yacht Club to right the wrongs of 2019 are right here. San Diego Yacht Club on board with them right now. Just over 2 minutes to go to the start, and we've got onboard cameras with Royal Thames, San Diego Yacht Club, and Southern as our top 3.
And Yacht Club Argentina was our fan favorite, so that's going to be the 4th onboard camera. Ken, real quick, you know more about these conditions in Narragansett Bay than perhaps any other. What can we expect out there this afternoon?
Well, I just came down the bay. I was just on my boat. That's how I got here. It just came right through this block of water. The current is roaring out right now. It's going with the wind. So look out for a pile up at the pin end of the starting line and the weather mark. Remember, San Diego, they got tripped up by hitting the mark in the last Invitational Cup. It cost them the regatta. You got to be really careful at this weather mark today, because it is going to be a pile up. The current, I haven't seen the current roaring like this in Narragansett Bay in a long time.
So into the tide at the start. We may see the boats a little light on the starting line, but as Kenny said, that makes it difficult at the pin end for sure. Left or right, but the breeze dropping. We're 8 to 10 knots, but you said when you first arrived, it's a lot less there than it is here.
Yeah, it's probably 14 still here in Newport, which is to the south of where these guys are racing. They're all the way up the bay. It's great conditions. It's awesome conditions, but I'm really curious to see if the current plays a big factor in this race.
Now, a lot of the boats are compressing towards the upper end of your screen, the weather end of the line, except for 2, New York Yacht Club and San Diego Yacht Club, fighting it out for the pin. I had a chance, Andy, to talk to New York Yacht Club's coach yesterday. He said they're going to try to make the pin end work, just like San Diego has. Meanwhile, Southern Yacht Club, your regatta leader, somewhere in the middle of the mix. Andy, 20 seconds to go, we're on board. San Diego.
Oh, that pin looks really tight with the tide against. 15 seconds to go. Now the boat's starting to put their bow down, and we got 10 seconds to go. New York Yacht Club just okay. The bowman there calling, go faster, we're racing. And San Diego in the bad spot right behind them, in big trouble right from the start. San Diego having to bail out, not good for them. There goes the gun, and they're going to have to tack out, clear away. And where are Southern Yacht Club? In the middle of the pack. But they're not looking great on their start either. Here we go, they're on port, San Diego Yacht Club, tacking out, clearing out. That is not the start they wanted to attack in this race 11.
Well, the pressure is now on for them to see if they can recover from this start. Meanwhile, New York Yacht Club, Andy, spectacular pin and start.
I saw Pete Levesque, the tactician, this morning walking down Thames Street, collecting his thoughts. And right now we're on board with San Diego. Tyler Sinks just finding his way to duck underneath the boats and try and make the best of this start. They didn't get it right. Pressure is on them. That's Drew Fridays. Kenny, you know Drew very well, doing the main sheet. White sunglasses, blonde hair, just behind Tyler Sinks.
Current national champion in this class. You can tell where his experience has obviously paid off over the last couple days. Andy, Tucker, as we all know, sometimes you get a lousy start and you get driven in the right direction.
Yeah.
With the current roaring out right now, you sail Shields up there all the time, Andy. With the current roaring out, wouldn't you want to get towards the right-hand beach? They're out in the middle of the channel right now. Which side of the race course would you be thinking, just from a local knowledge standpoint?
Well, I think if you can get far enough to the right, then yes. I think it's just difficult right now to get all the way to the shore of Aquidneck Island, but it is possible. It is possible, and there is a big breakwater that comes out of the naval station Newport, and if you can get to that breakwater, there is very little tide there, and we're talking at the moment about a difference between 0.2 of a knot right on the edges and 0.6, 0.7 at least in the middle, but they have to cross that. There you can see the breakwater, top of screen, just at the top of the mainsails of the boats. That's what they're aiming for. If they can get a little relief there on the right-hand side, we might see an advantage, but at the moment those boats on the right look a little down.
Yeah, they do. So far, New York Yacht Club are punched at the pin, doing what they need to do to move up in the standings in this final day of the regatta. So is this whole left-hand pack, as you say, Andy. Not so much for the right. That's where San Diego is headed. Where is Southern Yacht Club, current regatta leader?
Southern in the middle of the pack, heading towards the left-hand side, middle top of pack there. So here we are with them. They look good. They're in clear air. They've got enough distance to leeward. And how that's enough to be able to have clear air there from the leeward boat, Kenny?
Oh, they have sailed so well in tight spots. It's really been noticeable. And we were talking about this on air the other day when I called in and talked to you guys. You know, the mainsail trimmer is so critical when it comes to trying to keep your position. You can tell on the New York Yacht Club boat, they've moved their weight forward in the boat today. There's not as many people piled up in the back end of the boat, which is good, which is smart. Keep that bow down, increase waterline length. It's going to be fluky out there today, boys. It's going to be shifty, lots of current, long beats. You better be fast on a beat today because these beats are a lot longer. I think Andy was over a knot of current against out there. These are long beats, and you better hope if you're New York Yacht Club right now, your side comes in.
Yeah, well, New York Yacht Club heading to that left-hand side, and they are getting to a little bit of relief at Gould Island, and those boats on the right look like they're actually struggling to get towards any sort of relief on the right-hand side. I don't think that right-hand side is working for current relief.
Too far out in the middle of the bay.
Yeah.
Gould Island, there's a cone, even in outgoing current, there's a cone that comes off the northern end of Gould Island, which they're approaching right now. And that actually should provide some relief. So I agree with you.
A lot of spectator boats out today, just following the fleet as they come. Here we are with the Royal Thames, who are a little buried in the middle. They are also heading towards the left-hand side. The boat's starting to clear out to the right, but they could get tacked on very easily here. Johnny Greenland there driving one-handed, and he's trying to keep it as smooth as he can.
Let's check in with the fourth member of our broadcast team, guys. Out on the water, Katie Nastro, the best seat in the house. Katie, what do you make of the conditions? What are you seeing on the water?
Yeah, again, best seat in the house is right. That start was just heartbreaking. But what isn't heartbreaking are the conditions. They are a steady 10-knot breeze. Left is looking a little bit better as I look up the course, but really, I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better day. I'd like a little bit more sun out here. It is a little bit gray, but really great conditions for this final day 5.
Does one side seem to be starting to pay off over the other to you?
You know, I really think it's just getting out to an edge to get away from that current. That was one thing that, speaking with Jake Liddell earlier today, was we kept harping on it. We want to just be really, really mindful of the current, and everybody else seems to be on that same page.
All right, thanks, Katie. We're going to check in with you periodically throughout the day. And I just want to clarify, when Katie says it was a heartbreaking start, it's because this is her favorite team, San Diego Yacht Club. Katie, there are 18 other teams in this regatta. Just want to...
Play no favorites, Tucker. Come on.
Ken, you got to watch out for this one, I tell you.
Katie, thanks for carrying these two guys for the last week. It's been a pleasure listening to you, and thank goodness for you. That's all I can say.
Thanks, Ken.
Okay, on board with San Diego Yacht Club. Jake Ladow standing up. He's the tactician. He heads out with the boat. And another question I've got, we've talked about the tide so far, but in this northerly breeze, it can be pretty shifty. What were your impressions, especially as the breeze was easing down?
Well, it'll get more shifty as the afternoon goes along, because this breeze is absolutely forecast to continue to slowly drop during the day. This is a gradient breeze, a northerly that's being punched in from this kind of weak storm out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. And as that moves away, this gradient will die. And as it dies, you're going to see it shiftier and shiftier. That's when these land effects start taking control. You can look like a hero 1 second and a zero the next. So it's really going to be a fascinating day to watch. You know, I walked in this morning and told you guys I wouldn't want to be the tactician today. It's going to be a really hard day out there.
Well, word from the race course is, and the race committee, there's a 5-degree right-hand shift. So that will benefit the boats on the right-hand side. Those boats that got out of the tide in that great spot, New York Yacht Club, Costa Smeralda and Royal Cork, will not be so good in the right-hand shift. On board with San Diego, real tight spot there for them, and they are not looking too good right now. Having to clear out, that's never good, Kenny.
Yeah, and there's some boats you can see in the screen here. There's some boats that are well ahead. So a lousy start has not gotten any better for these guys. You know, it's interesting. You said that you saw Pete from the New York Yacht Club, the tactician, this morning, and he already called the pin end. I don't think I've ever left the dock before knowing which end of the starting line I was going to start at. So I find that kind of fascinating in its own right. Right now, it doesn't look like it's working perfectly, though. It looks like a fairly good right-hand shift. Sometimes the screen kind of plays tricks with us, but sure looks like a little bit of a right-hand shift right now.
At the moment, the benefit of that out of tide, the cone of Gould Island, as we head north, has benefited. New York Yacht Club still on track leading with a couple of meter lead over Yacht Club Costa Smeralda. Any sort of left-hand shift, and the New York Yacht Club are home free here.
Just want to point out, Andy, twice in this regatta we've seen Southern Yacht Club all the way down fighting for last place. In one case, they had to do a circle twice, and they came back to salvage a single-digit finish. Now the question is, can San Diego Yacht Club do the same? Ken, to me, that's the mark of a very successful team. Not whether they can get out in front and stay there. It's can you claw your way back from the bottom of the pack.
Yeah, I was watching one of your broadcasts a couple days ago when Southern made a huge comeback. The relief, I think it's a bigger relief, and it's more of a good feeling at the end of those types of races, guys, than it is when you just go win wall to wall. You know, when you make those big comebacks, that is a team building exercise that you just, I don't know, for some reason it feels better to me sometimes. So they've done some incredible Houdini moves and bailed out of some tough spots. And yeah, you're right. Let's see if San Diego can do that today, because for sure they got a little work to do.
Yeah, they're going to need to, and fascinating to keep up here on this left-hand side. We are with bow number 19. That's the New York Club, Chris Culver and Pete LeVay. Pete didn't actually call the pin this morning. He was just taking some air and just enjoying his walk, getting his head in the game, prepared.
Oh, come on.
For this
it's
day.
A better story if we just say that. Don't let the truth stand in the way of a good. Come on, you're broadcasting now.
Yeah, right. Okay. All right. Good.
Well, let's be fair to New York Yacht Club. They're doing great in this final day, certainly in this race here. They organized this event, so that's a big success. It's as good on the water as it is off. So worldwide, this is the benchmark keelboat competition for New York Yacht Club, and a little bit more pride for the New York Yacht Club is our next guest. I was just informed that we've got two very special guests who want to join us in the broadcast from the West Coast. They are both New York Yacht Club members, and they are representing the club proudly in the Congressional Cup out in Long Beach, California. We're talking about Taylor Canfield and Mike Buckley. It's great to have you guys with us.
Hey, good morning, Tucker. Hey, Tucker.
How's the Congressional Cup going from the scorecard? It looks so far so good for you guys.
Yeah, so far we're going well. We ended I'm not done with the double round robin yet, but we're currently sitting on 14-2, which is enough to have qualified us for the semifinals and also make us the number 1 seed without having to worry too much about the next 2 races in the round robin.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well done so far. And listen, obviously you heard us talking about the New York Yacht Club just now, and we are broadcasting live from the Invitational Cup here in Newport. Spectacular event. You guys are representing the Burgee out there. How proud are you to be representing New York Yacht Club in the Congressional Cup?
Yeah, we're super proud. You know, Mike and I have been members for many years now, and it's great to, have partnered with them for this next America's Cup and hopefully many more cycles to come. But yeah, we're excited to, be flying the Burgee, and, we'll get a photo over to you guys, but we got the Burgee on our jackets this week. So it is a huge sense of pride for us, and we love to represent them well.
Hey boys, it's Ken Reed here. First of all, it's good to talk to you. Good to hear from you. I'm joining these guys for the day, and I think the world wants to know. Tell us about the inner politics of the America's Cup right now. There's all kinds of stuff in the press. Give us a little rundown of where you guys are at and where the actual event is at.
Yeah, I mean, I think as sailors we always focus on controlling the things that you can control and trying to let the rest of it take care of itself. New Zealand's still trying to figure out where the next America's Cup venue is going to be, and they're not quite there yet, so we're kind of on standby there, trying to build out our organization and team and get ready so that when we know the venue, when we know the protocol, we're ready to pounce.
Now, speaking of your team, I know that something we have not seen a lot of in the America's Cup is a pathway for young sailors to get involved with America's Cup teams. Yet you guys have started a youth development part of your program, and you've got a competitor, David Wood, out there who's sailing as basically part of that. Tell us a bit about the youth development part of your campaign.
Yeah, that's something we're really proud of. I think, Taylor and I have spent the last few years, trying to break down some barriers to entry into our sport. And we've done a few of these, what we call combines, and we invite, groups of American sailors to come out and train and, get to know us, and more importantly, us get to know them and get to know each other. So a few weeks ago, we had a week-long training camp out here in Long Beach, and when David Wood won the Youth Match Racing Worlds as the first American to ever do so, Taylor and I were sitting next to each other and like, why don't we invite this kid? And so, yeah, we had about 20 sailors out here match racing all week, and we put together we asked David if he wanted to be part of a development team, and we'd help him put together the crew and a little bit of a plan. And yesterday he took down the #1 ranked sailor in the world, Eric Monin, which was pretty incredible to watch. I actually kind of just got the chills thinking about it. But yeah, and Kenny, his main trimmer, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but is one of your North Sails designers, Madeline Gill, who I sail with in the IC37. She's doing an awesome job. So yeah, great to see that American talent, young American talent, is alive and well. So we just got to give them a pathway.
Madeline is a star. So final question from me, Taylor. I know that as a past winner myself, I'm tooted my own horn there for a second. They give you a blazer. I think they call it the Crimson Blazer. And if I read this correctly, you've won it 4 times, and you could potentially be the first 5-time winner. Now, in the day and age of recycling, are they asking you to bring your old blazers with you, or are they going to give you a new one if you win?
Yeah. So this we have won 4 before, and this would be number 5. So, we just got to keep working hard and try to get that 5th one. But they do give you a blazer. You're willing to take as many blazers as you want as you win them. So we'll see if I have room, but I'm not sure I'll take a 5th this year.
Hey Taylor, I'm a 45 regular, for what it's worth.
Gotcha.
Listen, as we leave you guys, we want to say, number 1, good luck in the rest of the Congressional Cup. We'll be watching. As we're doing this interview with you guys live, Commodore Culver of the New York Yacht Club sits in first place as we head into the top mark. Any advice you want to give the home team?
Well, just take it one race at a time. Yeah, I mean, we've been rooting for them all week. Pete Levesque and I went to high school together. He taught me how to sail. Yeah, so big fans here watching the racing. One race at a time, never over till it's over.
Wow, must have been a good sailing high school. Hey, listen, Mike Buckley, Taylor Canfield, great to have you guys here in the broadcast for the Invitational Cup, and good luck out there with the Congressional Cup.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, guys.
All right, there we go. Pretty cool.
Yeah, very good. And back to the action, we've got Southern Yacht Club, who are really trying to dig themselves out of a hole. But the real news is, look how light it has gone. The left-hand side has been a very good place to be. New York Yacht Club trying to get over the top of everyone. They're getting their bow down. The right-hand side, not good at all. And that is where San Diego Yacht Club have been. But the breeze going lighter and lighter. Now probably, what is that, 7-8 knots maybe?
Yeah, it's forecast, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. Again, it's not a day to be a tactician. It's going to be really hard. Just in our screen right now, the boat on the left-hand part of the screen, everybody's hiking hard. Here at New York Yacht Club, on the top of the screen, only have 2 people on the rail. So it's going to be fluky, hard, shifty. Be prepared to keep your eyes out of the boat.
That boat to leeward, Kenny, that boat to leeward is from Finland, number 12. Can you pronounce that team?
Anyway, I'll leave this to you guys.
Nylandska Yacht Klubben, up among the front runners. Meanwhile, Andy, a team that's not yet among the front runners in this race is your current regatta leader.
Yeah, they're banging the left-hand side. They're taking sterns all the way. They seem to think that I think he's just calling for them to cross. He's calling to cross. They want to continue. But that's the Royal Thames who are going to attack just to lure them.
No.
That's not a great place for them to be, but I think Southern Yacht Club will have enough room here. But Southern are basically protecting their lead. They've got a 9-point lead, so everything that they do, all the strategy, Kenny, tell us how they're going to manage as the breeze gets lighter. The breeze gets lighter, it actually means more opportunity for San Diego Yacht Club. How does Southern Yacht Club manage this?
Well, it's stressful, man. I mean, as we all know, it is stressful because you got a target. There's a big number on the bow and up on the sail and a big old burgee in the middle of the mainsail. And then downwind, you got this yellow kite. Might as well just call it all a bullseye, right? So when you have a lead like this, you don't have any friends on the race course. In fact, you have 0 friends, and it's going to be hard.
The track is showing the breeze crashing on the right-hand side, and that's where Southern are, and San Diego Yacht Club, who were crossed underneath everybody, they were in 18th. San Diego now on the port, towards the port ley line, have now jumped up to 8th.
Wow.
On a 9th now on the tracker. Southern Yacht Club went from right up in the top, and now they are just 1 ahead of San Diego Yacht Club. So this game there's plenty of golf left in this hole.
You are right about that. Game is on in the middle of the track.
Long beats, remember, fellas. This current is roaring.
The right is crashing badly. There's no breeze on the right-hand side, and there's more tide. Oh, there's plenty to go here, and while it looks like they're within a few minutes of the windward mark, actually with the breeze down now, boat speed to more like 4 to 5 knots. The left-hand side might be good here, but if there's any breeze from the right, suddenly they'll come in as well.
Let's ask Katie Nasser out on the water, who I believe is at the top mark. Katie's breeze is definitely shifting out there. Is the right caving as badly as we're seeing here?
I wish that all of you were out here right now to see this band of no breeze to the right-hand side of the course, and it is coming, and it is coming quickly. Unlike the boats that are making their way up the course, it is a slow down.
Well, that's not going to help half of the fleet or more, Andy, to the right of
the Royal Thames
your leaders.
Just done those 2 little tacks. They bounced the Southern Yacht Club back to the right-hand side. Then Royal Thames dug in deep towards this left-hand side and now leading the pack. There are 2 boats just to their right. That's Norotan and Yacht Club Costa Schmelda that you can see just right of screen there. But the breeze all coming in from the left-hand side at the moment. Oh, it is turn around, shaky. Now,
and don't forget the freighter coming down the middle of the race course to add a little bit of action.
Oh yeah, that's not going to be good for those boats way out on the right-hand side. And now everyone having to tack back from the right and look at the left, the high left now, plenty of breeze.
Yeah, crew on the rail. On board Yacht Club Argentino, our fan favorite.
Welcome to Narragansett Bay, and in a dying gradient. It's going to be like this all day long. Power up. You just got to keep the boat moving and eyes out of the boat. It's really, this is a tactician's day. And I say it facetiously before, of course, it's really fun being a tactician today because you either get it right or you don't. And there's no in between. There's no, oh, we kind of had an okay day. It's hero or zero time out there, and it's kind of fun.
So Ken, question for you as a tactician. Downwind, left is going to be favored as we're looking upwind relatively for breeze, but right is going to be favored for current. Which way do you go downwind?
Oh, I think a lot of times now they're back out into the middle. So they've as they come to the weather mark, the right side of the race course, potential tide relief, and the left side of the race course where Gould Island is, Prudence Island is, potential relief. They kind of cross each other out. It's stay in the breeze. There's 3-4 knots, as Katie was saying. There's 3-4 knots more breeze in certain places than other places, and that's going to win out. So don't be afraid to maneuver. Don't be afraid to take a run after that next puff, and then soak with it. You got to stay with it. Don't reach through it. Soak with it, because you got to keep it as long as you possibly can.
It's a minefield out there. Marcus Egan, the tactician, Southern Yacht Club. You can see him walking around the boat, checking everywhere.
Taking sterns to get to that left-hand side. He's like, yeah, no, keep going. He's calling the New York Yacht Club to go ahead, and they need to duck down here. Our New York Yacht Club
close.
Cross them. It's going to be close, but yeah, that's the right thing to do if you want to keep going to the left-hand side. New York Yacht Club were in great shape at the top there, and now they've just slowed down a little bit. Southern Yacht Club back into it.
One more boat to cross on port. Southern Yacht Club will let them go. They've pretty much already got it. And that's number 10. Royal Thames, currently sitting in third overall. Second place overall, Andy, this boat on board San Diego. Ooh,
it's never, guys, it's never a situation out here that, okay, it's the left. The left is good, we got to go left. The left is good for 10 minutes, and then you better be looking right, because the next big one is coming from the right, and it sure looks like the right-hand side of the course as we get to the top has come in, back in big again. So this is not a one-sided racetrack by any means. In fact, it's anything but. This is a get to the breeze, and the breeze could be coming from anywhere. You got to be all options open, all eyes out.
Now the Southern are back in it. They got that little bit of right-hand breeze that you were talking about, and San Diego are to leeward of them.
Heading far left.
Heading far left and slightly right-handed air now. Boy, yeah, that's amazing. Royal Thames heading towards the right-hand side. It's going to be tricky as they get to that top ley line, because with the tide against, the ley lines are really tight.
Just want to point something out here. Katie, can you hear us?
Yes, I can, Tucker.
In yesterday's broadcast, you might recall that we noticed a trend. Every single boat that you sailed out on, she knew this was coming, has had a horrible day. And I'm just wondering, what do you do to these sailors? Because now San Diego, who you were on board with this morning, is having a shocker.
Tucker, no comments.
Well, coming into the top.
It was a backhanded compliment, Katie.
Yacht Club Costa Smeralda with a great lead. Well done them. The team from the Amalfi Coast in Sardinia doing a very nice job. Change of course. Charlie flag.
To the left.
The new downwind leg 210. So the reciprocal of that suggests...
Soft out there, isn't it?
Suggests the 030. I thought we had an 020. So maybe a little right-hand shift they're calling there at the end. Royal Thames coming up to the top mark. They look like they're in pretty reasonable shape in third place. Southern Yacht Club ducking underneath Royal Canadian, and that's about 18. Yacht Club Italiano, who are coming around in second. So jibe set.
Great set. Yeah. Really nice. What's called in the modern days a sandy cam, right? Why? I have no idea.
You're going to have to explain that. I mean, I thought I was down with the kids, but no way.
I was just holding my breath on that one, waiting.
I'm wearing my flat brim as I tell you the name of that.
Right. Royal Thames Yacht Club now in third, coming around the top mark. Just to windward of them is
Royal Thames has a strong shot at second.
Yep, Royal Thames and
there's Southern.
Royal Canadian Yacht Club, and then Southern, and then New York Yacht Club. So Southern have done a good job at picking their way through very tricky conditions. And it really wasn't clear whether it was left or right. In fact, it was all of those things.
Another jibe set. So obviously, tacticians think the pressure is coming from this right side of the race course, or the race course out onto the horizon that we can see. Sure looks like a big right-hand shift coming into this mark.
Let's confirm with Katie Nastro. Katie, is this right-hand shift going to hold on the run? Everybody's jibe setting.
Yeah, and you know, I really think that it is like Ken said, it is a definite get your head out of the boat. Where's the pressure coming from? You know, it's really just it's up and down, but it is clearly dying as we go, and we see these boats just trying to stay in that pressure and stay high.
Look at Southern Yacht Club's speed. That's the one advantage, Ken, that they've had all the way around the track. It's almost like they've got a different gear to the rest of the fleet. Johnny Lovell just hammered down as he rolls one boat and looks like he's set up to roll another.
Well, it helps when you have a silver medalist at the helm. And past winner of this event as your mainsail trimmer. I mean, and actually the current mainsail trimmer on the national championship boat in this class, in the IC37 class. So depth and smarts and experience, you know what, it still kind of works.
They were being luffed by the Royal Canadian Yacht Club there. That's why they had to get up as we're on board with Royal Thames.
Terry Nielsen still thinks he's in the Canada's Cup.
Wow, weight in.
This is forward and to leeward weather, fellas. This is, you got to get that big wide transom out of the water. You know, I hate to stereotype conditions, but I tell you what, in the Med, this, you know, the Italians are used to sailing in conditions like this. So this is not a shocker. I've seen more good, kind of light, strange weather conditions sailors come out of Italy, come out of the Med in general. You know, they're tough, and sure enough, they're comfortable. Look at that patch, Andy. That patch up to the upper right, whether that's sun or cloud or maybe just more light air.
I think that's light air. The boats are being lifted a little as they come down here from the original header. And they're with the tide though, so they're going to get down to the mark. We're probably not going to see a huge amount of lead changes. Most of it is on port jibe down to the bottom here. But the thing will be, once they get around the bottom mark into that tide, it is easing slowly over the next hour.
Yep.
But as they get into that tide with such light air, it'll shuffle up the fleet again, right? Because
it is going to get lighter though. I think out by Prudence Island, we're looking at 12:45, something like that for a tide change. So. There will be, it is lightening all along. You know, if you're these guys, when do you start thinking, wow, if the breeze really craps out here, this could be the last race? You know, you got to be thinking about it. They're so good at climbing back, but man, you don't want to risk a light, fluky race, you know, light, fluky final race. You got to hope anyway. There's nothing wrong with winning a regatta by an abandonment. Let's put it that way. You win it any way you can.
wishful thinking. If ever you start thinking that, you know it starts to unwind like a wool jumper. You know, Southern Yacht Club on board with them right now, Tucker.
Well, if ever there was, Southern Yacht Club is looking strong, as Ken points out. You never want to put it up, out of your hands, the regatta win. But if you're San Diego, you definitely want a final race. You need a final race.
19th. San Diego.
Maybe a couple final races.
San Diego, so lousy start, but then they crossed the middle several times, right? What's the old adage of win your side? They crossed the middle several times on that beat, and and this fluky stuff, especially if the rest of the fleet is in phase, Andy, that means you're always out of phase. You just kept crossing against the grain, just looking for a lane. It's hard. We've all been there. It's hard.
Yeah, it hasn't gone well for San Diego Yacht Club in this race, I'm afraid. They are 19th now, one behind Itchner, then in 17th, Yacht Club Argentino, then Norotan, then San Francisco Yacht Club in 14th. It is the Royal Swedish Yacht Club. But at the top, Yacht Club Costa Smeralda, Yacht Club Italiana, then the Royal Thames, then the Southern Yacht Club, followed by Royal Canadian and New York Yacht Club, defending their positions on this light downwind leg. Twice around, so they got another upwind against the tide to go.
You know, the bad news too, it's been long port. So there are very few passing lanes for the trailing boats to get back in the mix here, including San Diego.
Yeah, they're almost heading for the mark. That's Gould Island on the right-hand side. That's where a little bit of that early current relief was, but as the current fades, coming towards low tide, as the current fades, that's not going to be as big in play, but this is obviously a big shift. Bet San Diego wishes they had just stuck it out and hung it out on that right side on that beat, because the right came in huge at the end.
How's New York Yacht Club doing, Andy?
New York Yacht Club is good. They're in sixth place. They're in sixth spot right now, so they are okay. Royal Thames now, tactician with hands on hips. That means he's thinking hard.
Let's bring Katie back in. Katie, stand up as high as you can. Get your binoculars out. Is there any difference in the breeze coming over the next 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes in this race, or are we looking at pretty much where we are?
I wish I had some better news for you all, but it is looking just dropping breeze as I'm looking off the course. San Diego, you know, they're in a little bit of a puff right now, but right behind them, where all the spectators are, it is not looking great, unfortunately.
Okay, well, it is long on port. They're still going on port. The jibe set was the right thing to do, and there's very little opportunity elsewhere. But look how fast Southern Yacht Club are. They've managed to close in on the Royal Thames and squeeze their weight to leeward of them and overtake the Royal Canadian Yacht Club just now behind them, who were luffing them at the beginning. They rolled them and are just soaking down all the way now. And Southern Yacht Club are essentially preparing for the final approach to the mark. The crucial thing is picking the correct mark. Talk us through the thinking of the tactician and teams right now.
Well, with a big shift like this, it'll be interesting to see if they've changed the angle of the leeward gate. In a big shift like this, you would think as you're facing downwind, you'd be looking at the left-hand mark, right? In a big right-hand shift, you'd be looking at the left-hand side of the gate. But I've been very impressed with the race committee out there. They're communicative. They're on it. There's a lot of communication on moving marks, changing directions, what the actual wind direction is, strength is. I think this is as good a race committee work as I've seen with the New York Yacht Club, maybe in my career. It was really very impressive to listen to on the radio the other day. So I would be surprised if they haven't changed that leeward gate and squared it up. And if that's the case, then it's just going, where is the next breeze line coming upwind? That's all you need to be concentrating on if you're a tactician right now.
Southern Yacht Club has jibed well early of the leeward gates. It's kind of a match racing move, isn't it? Make the boats ahead of you, then make a decision to either go with you or extend much farther.
Yeah, and they know that a guy like Terry McLaughlin and the Royal Canadian group are aggressive, so they're just trying to break out, keep clear air, not get caught up in a pack, because that's where, if it's light air and you're in a pack, then all of a sudden your breeze is probably going to be that much more limited. So give yourself options, keep options. Lord knows they've made this work all week so far, so why change strategy now?
Still light, huh? Okay, we're getting a few course changes. C flag from the race committee boat. We'll update you as to exactly what they decide on there. But as far as the tracker is concerned, now everyone's starting to jibe back onto starboard for the approach to the bottom two marks, and this will be interesting to see where they choose which way, left or right, up the beat.
I love the yellow spinnaker. What do you guys think?
Very cool.
I love it. I think it's great.
I was a little worried earlier on in the week that it might be slightly heavier than the others, because it seemed to be weighing down. It seemed to be weighing some of the teams down.
You should know better than that. This is a professionally run operation who builds these sails, so that is absolutely not a heavier spinnaker.
It may have been heavier in psychology.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, a little weight.
Southern has definitely had to work for it, but they've earned it.
You know, one thing, guys, that somebody asked earlier today was, why did they go up in the bay if they knew there was going to be a light northerly? Offshore is still, the remnants of this storm that's well offshore, it's really big waves coming out of the south, so they'd be going downwind in almost 4 or 5 foot swells offshore, and it would be gear breaking, miserable, hard, lousy conditions. So
a little depression about 150 miles southeast of Nantucket actually just touched tropical depression, Ophelia, I think it was. So that is moving away from us at the moment and giving that gradient northerly dying.
Great for surfers, terrible for sailors.
Andy, there's another depression actually in this race. If you're a fan of San Diego Yacht Club.
Very good.
Back of the pack, 15th right now, coming up into the Leeward Gates. And one thing that I want to remind everybody is that one of the great things about this event is not just the competition on the water, it's the fan engagement, both here in Newport, Spectator Fleet, and also online. We want to hear from you guys watching on Facebook or YouTube. Ask your questions of the president of North Sails, Ken Reed. We've got him here in the studio.
Well, I've got a question there, Kenny. The spinnaker retrieval system. Talk us through how that works, what they do.
Single line, single patch. You need a big, strong person pulling it down below. The line goes around the hatch, a rounded edge of the hatch, and you just have to pull. You just shut up and pull. And when you think you've pulled enough, pull more. And really, this event has been the first event we did with these boats. There were blown up kites every night, and now this time around they get it. Watch the one person start pulling, right from the hatchway. They'll start pulling. This will be
there it goes. Look at that.
There you go.
Pull. Weather drop. It's coming around. Just keep pulling. Do not stop pulling.
The guy in the middle of it. So he's not pulling from the bow. He's
You got two
pulling
people pulling right in the middle. So that's how important it is. Two people pulling that kite down below. Get that patch to the back of the boat. Don't let your tack off too early, or you could get yourself a disaster. They just pulled that off.
Fascinating. And now, Johnny Lovell was telling me that they've changed from 8 people to 9 people, and one of the jobs of the 9th person they've got, as it were, the light person, is to go down below and to actually unravel that retrieval line from the spinnaker to ensure their next hoist is good.
Smart. And a lot of these boats have switched to 9. It just depends on the crew size. And it starts with the skipper. How big is your skipper? So 8 or 9, and hey, listen, that extra set of hands, obviously down below, sorting things out, can't be bad. That's for sure. Can't be bad.
So we're heading back upwind, the final beat of race 11, the Invitational Cup. It's Yacht Club Costa Smeralda and Yacht Club Italiano, the Italian teams, first and second. Royal Thames in third. Great race for them. They're in third for the regatta overall if they can keep points between themselves and San Diego Yacht Club. Meanwhile, fourth is Southern Yacht Club, current regatta leader, and still fifth, Royal Canadian Yacht Club, and then, Andy, New York Yacht Club.
Yeah, that's right. And it'll be really interesting as they go up here, which side of the beat will work, because with the tide against them, as Kenny said earlier, it makes it a very long upwind leg, very shifty, and the breeze going up and down.
Let's see if Katie can give us her insight on what's going on with the tide and the breeze across the track as we head back upwind. Katie.
Yeah, guys, actually, a bit of good news. The breeze appears to be up, so we like that. We have teams now sitting on the rail full up, but it is ahead outside of the boat. We're right alongside Southern Yacht Club, and great communication by that team. Everybody's talking, everybody's got eyes out, giving Johnny just all the information he needs, so he can be cool as a cucumber back there.
There we go. Pictures here on Southern Yacht Club. The track showing them in second place. They went to the left-hand side with New York, and the New York Yacht Club just behind them. Yacht Club Costa Smeralda have now tacked towards the right-hand side, way out on the right. Royal Thames, Yacht Club Italiano, and what is that, bow 16? That's Eastern Yacht Club now. I've come around that bottom mark.
Big angle differences on the race course, though. This is, you know what? Light air has to be made exciting in some way, and when it's this crazy, it makes it more exciting in my mind. I know it's a little more for fans, for specific fans. It's probably harder to watch, but this is fun. This is when good sailors thrive.
Now you can just see behind, that is San Diego Yacht Club there, coming downwind as everyone else goes upwind. Let's go on board with them and take a look at their body language. Are they still okay? Yeah, Tyler Sinks there. He's keeping his head in the game, focused. Here they go with the jib up. We'll stick with them as they go for this drop. There's the halyard going up on the jib, and then talk us through this one again, Kenny.
Yeah, we'll watch the puller here happening. That's the key. They're splitting away to the port hand side, to the left hand side. Kind of an interesting move here. This is typically you're going to be slow, especially with the jib up already. It's going to be blocking the breeze for that kite to fill. Then they're going to have to pull the kite around, back around to the left-hand side of the boat. So when you're in last, nothing goes well. Here we go. The one big puller, pull, pull, pull. This is a weather takedown out around the forestay, back right down through that forward hatch. Keep pulling until it hits the back of the boat. Or there's a block in the back of the boat, and just keep pulling until it hits.
Yeah, Nicholas there in the middle of the boat, and he gave it all, shoulders and arms, trying to get as much as he can. They look like they've come out in reasonably nice pressure there, going towards the right hand side. Just ahead of them in 18th spot is Itchenert Sailing Club, but they've got a lot of work to do here. They really want it to go, they want the breeze to disappear altogether, right?
Yeah, something about the first race on the last day in this event for these guys, right? That we said before the show started, for those of you just joining, this was the downfall in their last Invitational Cup, the San Diego Yacht Club. They hit the weather mark, and I think they came in second to last in the first race of the final day, and that cost them the regatta. This is apparently showing similar signs, similar bad luck, but you know, you kind of make your own luck, don't you?
And their coach, talk to us about what he's got to say. Who is it? What's his drill with the team?
Our great friend, the Hall of Famer Vince Brune. Vince and I worked together for 1,000 years. One of the best sailors. He actually trimmed the mainsail for us in America's Cup in 2003 with Stars and Stripes. Great guy, retired from North Sails right now, but still has his hand in all this stuff. I know after they started off slow in San Diego Yacht Club and then won 4 races in a row, and I'm pretty sure before those 4 races, old Vince gave the team a little talking to, a little veteran leadership there, making sure that they got their heads out of their you-know-what-skis and let's get back on the race course. It worked, but all good things apparently come to an end at some stage right now. Not looking great for the San Diego Yacht Club.
Royal Thames on board with them. Currently, they've nudged their way into the lead, and it does look like the left-hand side has come good, because the New York Yacht Club continued track showing New York Yacht Club and Royal Thames heading out towards that left-hand side. I think the Thames are in better shape. Yacht Club Costa Esmeralda picked the right-hand side. Southern Yacht Club going towards the right as well. But breeze is up a little now, more like 8 to 10, I think. So a little more solid around the course. There, brilliant pictures of Commodore Culver driving the boat, smooth and silky. I've sailed with him on the 1928 classic 12-meter Onawa this year, and he's been doing a great job on board there as well.
North Americans next week.
Yep, another busy week. Start Wednesday practice all the way through to Saturday, and then Sunday is a festival of sail in memory of Commodore Harry Anderson, which will be at Trinity Church, and then here at the New York Yacht Club. That'll be quite an event. An amazing fella as well. For all those Americans who've sailed in college sailing, he came up with a whole brand new race course for team racing, and everyone still uses it to this day. Great philanthropist and a cool dude.
The Harry A. That's with the Harry Anderson course. We've all done them 1,000 times, especially back in college. And yeah, talk about a legend, a guy who touched so many. It's great that the 12-meter North Americans are actually stopping a day early in order to come and be part of this Sunday incredible event next week here at the New York Yacht Club, in order to pay tribute to Harry Anderson, a person who did so much for so many.
Yeah, great for the sport of sailing, and he lived a long and very good life. It'll be a celebration, that's for sure. Just shy of his 100th birthday, him and Prince Philip battled birthdays, and they were good friends all the way through their sailing and racing careers.
Speaking of sailing and racing, just to bring you back onto the water, New York Yacht Club is the leftmost boat of the entire fleet. Track has them in first place. Interestingly, Southern Yacht Club is elected to go up the middle. They've done a few extra tacks, but there's a boat that knows how to work their way up through the fleet, currently sitting in 4th or 5th right now. New York and Royal Thames, it's between the two of them, Andy, and here is the cross.
And Kenny, we got a great picture of the mainsail, the jib there. Just talk to us about your expertise, sail trim. We may get a drone shot above them in a moment, and I'll take you there as well. But Talk to us about sail trim.
Well, these are all purpose inventories, right? So the whole goal here was to make this as financially easy for people to get into this class as possible. So it's just one jib, one main, one downwind sail spinnaker. The jib actually has a reef in it, the main has a reef in it, and they use those reefs. That was always the goal, is to have the reefs usable so you can go sail these boats in a breeze. But there's also this really big tuning strategy. You can't touch the shrouds, but you can move the plates. The mast goes up and down hydraulically. It's pretty tricky. The hydraulics are built into the bottom of the mast. And you can remove plates, actually let the mast down, and when you let the mast down, it actually loosens up the shrouds, more depth, more headstay sag, a little side sag in the mast. It'll be really interesting to see if people set that mast tune for breezier conditions, you can really struggle in light air. Vice versa, you get caught out without very many plates in a soft tune setting, and the breeze comes up, your mainsail's inverted really quickly. So this is a fascinating call at the beginning of every race. How many plates do you put in, and what are you expecting the breeze to do? Usually you put them in for the first beat, right, Andy? You win the first beat, and then what happens after that happens. But it'll be really interesting, and for sure it's a big speed difference if you get that right or wrong.
And the coaches prior to racing allowed to just talk about what the weather forecast is and whether actually sometimes you should go a little lighter if the forecast is to go down. Will some of the boats have done that today?
Yeah, no question about it. It's a big part of these events now. All these events, the coaching has become so critical. It's another actual feature of the IC37 class, not in this event, but in their normal events. They actually hire one coach for the entire regatta, and you're not allowed to bring your own coach. Again, a way to try to get the financial commitment to a class down, bring the fun up and the financial commitment down, and you know what, it's really working. Moose McClintock, a guy that I've sailed 1 million miles with in the past, is the coach for the IC37 class for their normal events, and he's been doing a great job. People are really psyched about it.
And the qualification, as we've said before in previous broadcasts, at the Resolute Cup, if you're an American team, American Yacht Club, you can apply for the Resolute Cup, and you've seen that racing, very competitive.
Yeah, I think they've had different classes. Of course, this is part of it. They've done them in, I think, Melgus 20s. They did them in J70s. There's been part of them in the sonars that the club owns. The Resolute Cup is a great way for American teams to qualify. And this year, there's more American teams because of COVID. You know, it's a shame, for example, the Australians aren't back. The team that won it last time, but Australians and Kiwis have been struggling with their COVID restrictions down there, and that's the reason why they're not here. It's not any other reason. The world is trying to get back to normalcy, but it sure isn't quite there yet.
Andrew Shaw in the white, the mainsail trimmer on the Royal Thames Yacht Club boat from a famous sailing family. Based in Chichester. I think his aunt was an international umpire, jury and judge, and all of his family sail lots and lots. And Johnny Greenland now helming this boat many times here in the Rolex New York Yacht Club Invitational.
Now, the good news, you know, a leg ago, it looked like the breeze was softening up so much we weren't sure about the rest of the day. But guys, it looks like the breeze is now back up a couple knots. Let's check with Katie on the water. Katie, does the breeze look like it's coming back?
I feel like the weather girl out here. Calling Tim Cantori. Yeah, no, the breeze is up a bit, and it appears to be sticking. So I definitely think we're going to have another race. And yeah, you know, cruiser on the rail. It has gone a little bit right, but it does appear to be holding, which is good news.
Nice. And what can we expect weather-wise for the rest of the week here in Newport?
I don't get paid enough for that, all right?
Thank you, Katie. We love hearing from you, as always.
Well, we will certainly have the 12th and final race shortly. I think it's very unlikely that they won't race another one. The breeze is very sailable here, even if it is tricky, and that really is the test of the sailors, test of the tactician, helmsman, boat handling, crew work, boat speed, all that pushed together in a magical ballet on these IC37s. The Naval Station Newport just behind, where they focus on undersea stuff.
Yeah, technically. That's
You don't know.
technical
You get shot if you know.
Yeah, no.
term. You know, yesterday, Kenny, it was very much sort of one side or the other. The corners of the race course paid off and the middle didn't. Today, it's the opposite. The front runners have been short tacking their way up, almost like a college short college sailing beat. They've been treating these boats like dinghies.
Connecting the dots, right? This is a very typical northerly day on Narragansett Bay. Sun's not out yet, so the gradient might hold. If the sun came out, it'd probably be bad, right, Andy? Because the sea breeze would start fighting against this. So we're actually rooting for cloud cover. And you know, these northerlies, there's a lot of land around. It's a big body of water, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of land around. That friction creates wind shifts, and yeah, this is not surprising that it's a connect the dots day. Let's put it that way.
Royal Thames and Yacht Club Costa Smeralda connecting the dots quite well. That's currently your first and second place teams in this race. Race number 11, the 7th biannual running, the 2021 Rolex New York Yacht Club Invitational Cup. It doesn't get much better than this. Purpose-built, 20 IC-37s owned by the New York Yacht Club. And boy, do they throw some good parties too.
Yeah, Yacht Club Costa Smeralda have been. This is a really great race for them. I'm not sure we've been through their crew this week, but that's probably because I've been trying to avoid
this would be good, Kenny.
Italian pronunciation.
Here we go. Sit down. If you're Italian, sit down, and I'm sorry. We apologize to begin with.
Andy, the mic is yours.
The helmsman, Antonio Migliori. Obviously, the tactician, Etero Botticini. Filippo Maria, T. Molinari. The captain, Francesca Bergamo. Andrea Cinerari, Eduardo Scotti, Erica Ratti, Luigi Stepani, and Andrea Straniero.
Molto bene.
My wife's Italian, and she's just cringing as we speak.
Right, terrible. Anyway,
she's not the only one.
I'm gonna have a limoncello in disgust later. Southern Yacht Club on board. Look at that focus from Johnny Lovell.
Traveler up well to weather, boom, almost on center line. It looks like they're jib lead all the way inboard. They're just looking for power now, right? That's what these boats are looking for. Waters looks a little flatter. Probably the boats that are out there watching are probably spread out to the corners, so maybe it's not quite as choppy. And Southern Yacht Club, boy, they just know how to keep it close, don't they? Just stay in that top 5, and you're going to gain again on the rest of your competitors. So, really, I'm so impressed by how they're sailing.
I want you to take a look when we next go on board between Southern Yacht Club and Royal Thames at their jib lead. It just looked like they were a little different. You said Southern was maybe fully in and up, but I actually thought that maybe Royal Thames was a little tighter in. Anyway, here we go with Royal Thames. Oh. They've eased up there and pre-tax, so we're not sure about that, but I'm going to get Kenny to get his expert eyes on this. We'll let them settle down a bit.
Almost lost somebody down the hatch.
William,
come on.
That's the team. That's the team boss, committed man for this team, and
so you can't throw him off the boat. Don't
William
hurt him.
Edwards. There we go. He's been benefiting from plenty of yoga, but he's now getting towards the back of the boat as the breeze builds.
Really good beat by these guys, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting that Costa Smeralda kind of took off to the right to control one group, and the other group got by him. It's hard being ahead sometimes. You got to make those choices, and sometimes it's best in conditions like this not even to look at the competition. Keep looking at the water in front of you and sail your own race. But they covered the pack that went to the right early and lost out to the pack that went to the left. And here we are. The Thames. Hey, listen, I've seen crazier things happen. They're still right in the hunt here, and right now they'd be an easy second place in this regatta, wouldn't they?
Yeah, right now they would be for sure.
Yeah.
And actually, the Southern, if a couple of boats get ahead of Southern, they could, it's not all over. I think probably a 10-point lead going to the last race, probably okay. But man, we've seen it turn around. We saw it as recently as 2019 with San Diego Yacht Club. Let's not bash on them anymore. They are amazing sailors, and the only reason we're talking about them is last year, 2 years ago, and this year they have been right at the front of the fleet, battling for the medals. Jibe set.
Royal Thames started out leading this regatta. Now they've brought back that same winning form, perhaps saving their best for last.
Some
in
really
this final day.
good job sets here, right? I mean, that was
doesn't look like amateur sailing in any way.
No, that was exceptionally impressive.
Charlie flag at the windward mark. We're getting that direction to finish will be 225. So course 045. The breeze has been going right from the start, which was 020. Southern look like they're going to. No, they can't. That's not going to be a bear-away set, is it? Sort of looks like it.
Good question, but they're pulling their kite up a little early. But sometimes this leads to a wrap, so you have to be careful. This can lead to an hourglass if you try to sneak a little early. Let's see if they can pull this off.
Jibe set.
Yeah, I think it is a jibe set. Yep.
They're trying to get it.
Got that clue pulled around.
Yeah, very good.
Already. Johnny just steers slowly into the jibe. Kite's already up before the transom passes the mark.
And that's a telltale sign of success, right, Tuck?
Yes, sir.
Finish mark is in C flag, right hand by 25 degrees over the course of this race. They've slowly moved the course to the right hand side.
A lot of really good jibe sets on these boats. One advantage is you get to just smoke the jib halyard, right? As soon as that kite is up, because the jib is on hanks, you just let the halyard go and it drops on deck and the spinnaker gets nice and full. But timing wise, at least up until this one, maybe, timing why not? It's still gonna be fine. Timing wise, all of the sets were spectacular.
Yeah. So Katie Nastro at the top mark there. Is this left hand or right hand shift rather, with most of the fleet jibe setting, going to hold all the way downwind like we saw on the first run?
You know, unfortunately, that's some bad news. Don't shoot the messenger, but it does appear that the top right-hand corner is fading a little bit. So right now, it appears everybody is getting in that breeze and just kind of trying to stay in clean air and just ride out this final leg in as much pressure as possible, because it does appear to be lessening as we go down the leg.
Thank you, Katie. And Ken, as you know well, having sailed 1,000 million races most likely, that when the breeze fills in from behind, as we saw yesterday, the fleet can compress. In this case, the breeze drops from behind. Leaders are going to get a little farther.
Yeah, nice if you're ahead in that scenario, right? It's you can see one nice little shot across, right, Andy, right across the top of our screen here. One nice little band. The key is you gotta over soak in these bands. If you stay hot and going fast through a band like this, a narrow band, you just sail yourself out of it quicker. So it's almost you gotta change your mentality on how you sail on certain types of days. And this is a get in a puff and soak like crazy type of day. No question about that.
So you'd sail low of target just to stay in that breeze longer when you're in a puff downwind?
Longer you can. If it's a narrow band like that and you can see light air on the other side, you're doing anything possible. By the way, one of the rules in this, you'd be tempted to go wing and wing in a situation like that, but one of the rules in this class is you can't.
Really?
Yeah, so J70s, for example, there's a lot of wing and wing action in this. It was just one of the early rules. They didn't want the look. They didn't want that part of strategy creeping into it, so you can't go wing and wing.
I like that. Here we are with Royal Thames Yacht Club, John Greenland, the helmsman, the tactician, Ian Dobson, who was also the tactician for their win in 2015. He's a Fireball World Champion and a GP14 World Champion, and that's him in the blue hat and blue sunglasses. And he's a 470 and he was in the Olympic Development Squad. Very, very good sailor. Harry Edwards, William Edwards, Tara Gillespie, Nicholas Hornby, Emily Peters, and I'm aging myself here because I used to sail Ultra 30s with her dad as the helmsman.
Here we go.
25 years ago.
How about grandfather? Did you do any sailing with with her grandfather?
I'm not that old. Anyway, there we go. That's the crew from the Royal Thames Yacht Club, founded in 1775 in London. It's a great place to go and visit. Their model room is spectacular.
Ken, I'll give you a little history question. Throw you on the stage here. What yacht club was first to challenge New York Yacht Club for the very first defense of the America's Cup in 1870?
Royal Thames.
Easy, wasn't it? And what was the name of the person who challenged? Who sailed for that?
F. Tucker Edmondson the third. It was no, or it could have been a green. Maybe it was there. Maybe there was a green in there. Was there?
There's a bit of green and a few in the patch. James Ashbury.
Oh, very good. Very good, Tucker. Good history.
I liked your story about the islands the other day.
Yeah, pirate.
I thought Andy. I thought he brought his A game when he talked about Patience and Gould.
Well, I'll just do it again really briefly. But just for those that weren't here and didn't hear the early part, that you can see all sorts of islands around Narragansett Bay. One of the founders of Rhode Island. Now I've totally forgotten his name.
What's his name? Don't help him. Don't help him.
Roger Williams,
Thank you.
the founder of Rhode Island, one of the founders of Rhode Island.
the gears
Roger Williams
turning.
was kicked out of Massachusetts because he wanted more religious liberty. Rhode Island famous for your ability to worship whoever you like, and we stick with Ken Reed. But he had 3 daughters: Prudence, Patience, and Hope. And the joke goes that he also had 3 stepdaughters who were Gould, Hogg, and Despair. But I don't believe that he actually had 3 stepdaughters.
And the punchline here is those are 6 names of different islands on Narragansett Bay.
That is correct.
I'm
yeah.
not trying to help you through,
No,
through this
look,
abysmal joke,
Yeah,
but
right.
anyway.
Just a little bit of Narragansett Sound trivia for you. When you next come up, you can go and see some of these islands, some of which are inhabited and some of which are uninhabited, but a lot of fascinating history here in Rhode Island for particularly the British, the French, the Americans. We call them the New British.
Kenny, thank you for bringing the punchline into that for those of us listening. I actually have an Andy to English dictionary that translates a lot of this stuff.
Royal Thames
We
Yacht
don't have a
Club.
lot of time.
There we go. Ian Dobson, the tactician, standing up, looking around. He's very happy with his job in that race this morning. They've just sniggled their way up the beat in really tricky conditions to just overtake Yacht Club Costa Esmeralda, and Southern Yacht Club have been...
Well, when they were, so day one, when these guys broke out of the pack with a 2-2-1, was it a light air type of day? I mean, is it easy?
It wasn't light air, but it was actually it was quite shifty. So it was a very similar day where you actually had to be quite a heads up, as you say, join the dots tactician. And he's done a lovely job of that. And when it got a little bit more persistent shifty, they weren't quite so good. They got an 8.99 on the second day.
Yep. So trends, something to work at as you are setting up your. Listen, this time of year around here, you can get anything. In the summer, it's a little more predictable around Newport and Narragansett Bay and Rhode Island Sound. But this time of year is notorious for the cold fronts are starting to start pump through across the country from the west, and then you get these offshore depressions that are pumping in from the east and northeast. So it's really, this time of year is a fascinating time of year to sail around here. A lot of people think September might be the best sailing month of the year.
And you were talking about the sea breeze earlier, and it is quite later on in the season, so the water is quite a lot warmer, and the sea breeze does struggle to beat the gradient sometimes, and that can actually lead, as we saw a couple of weeks ago, to long periods of very little air at all, very light gradient that's actually cancelled out by only a knot or two of sea breeze, so you end up getting no breeze at all, despite seeing all of the elements that you'd expect from a sea breeze: clouds and movement.
While you guys have been talking about that, you're looking at the Golden Spinnaker of Southern Yacht Club. Andy, they have averaged 4th place in the past 10 races in this regatta. That is impressive. Currently sitting in 3rd. I just got a text from the Southern Yacht Club. They're having a watch party live, and the bar is jam-packed while they look at the screen and see their team still leading the Invitational Cup.
And there's so many of them, they had to do it at the Superdome, right? That's where they're gathered.
Very good. They're very good in these light airs as well, because Lake Pontchartrain, where they do a lot of their sailing, is notoriously light and shifty. So that's given them some great training over their course. And actually, when I was doing my research on the Southern Yacht Club, they have a most wonderful Wikipedia entry telling them all about the history of the yacht club. But the history finishes after 5 or 6 paragraphs with the sentence, through more than 160 years of prosperity, depression, wars, yellow fever epidemics, floods and hurricanes, the Southern Yacht Club has maintained a Corinthian tradition of keen competition, sportsmanship and eponymous hospitality. Love that.
Eponymous.
Very good. Whoever wrote
Look at
it.
this.
There we go. Ian Dobson just waving to their supporters from the Royal Thames, of which there are many. I think that's Tony Langley on board Gladiator on his super yacht just to the right, giving them the big Pawns and the Well Dones. And,
Well earned. Royal
well
Thames has just won. First race today, 11th race of the regatta. Well earned.
And still keeping themselves in the mix.
Second place, Yacht Club Costa Smeralda, their best finish by far, the regatta overall. Spectacular. They'll be very happy with that. Kenny mentioned that Italian sailors are very good in these conditions, and there you can see why. And speaking of sailors that have been good in all conditions all week, Southern Yacht Club still unstoppable. That's them crossing in third.
That Golden Spinnaker not weighing heavily on their shoulders today. They did a lovely job of keeping it real in tricky conditions. They didn't take any risk left or right. They sort of went up the middle, often difficult when it's light like this, but they did a nice job of just picking those moments.
I'm so glad that these are actually A 1.5s. Actually, the shape of the sails, of the A sails, are actually for lighter conditions with a heavy construction. I'm actually glad, because if this was a proper A4, it would be pretty draggy in this condition. So I think that combo was the right thing to do when we made the sails for this class.
Close.
What happens when the breeze goes up 2022?
Just go faster through the water.
Close finish there. Royal Canadian just passed ahead of Nylandska Yacht Klubben and Yacht Club Italiano. As your top six rather. New York Yacht Club is next. They've got two boats to leeward of them, Andy. This is going to be a potential photo finish between New York, Royal Vancouver, and the San Francisco Yacht Club.
No, it looks like it's quite committee boat favoured here, and those boats that jibed earlier don't look like they've got quite the best of it, because on track it says New York Yacht Club should be finishing in 7th, but as we pan across to the right,
There's San Francisco.
as they...
Can we see the other two?
Oh, there we go.
If ever there was a time not to go to a close-up, that might have been it. I think New York got it, Andy.
Yeah, New York got it on the just on the line there,
I like to
ahead of San Francisco,
keep you guessing.
Royal Vancouver Yacht Club, and just coming in behind them is the Royal Swedish Yacht Club, and then Royal Cork, Eastern, and a gaggle of boats bringing up the rear, just to the north of Gould Island here, where we are located. That's Royal Cork.
Yep. Andy, give us an update on the scores.
Okay.
Royal Thames.
Well, the Royal Thames have trimmed by 2, so they are now only 13 behind Southern. San Diego Yacht Club have put quite a few points on the board, so I think really we are down to Southern and Royal Thames as the top 2, and Royal Thames have got to do some special magic to push Southern 13 points between them, and now Royal Cork with 72, 64 for San Diego Yacht Club, and coming across the line now, Norotan Yacht Club Argentino, Royal Bermuda, Eastern Yacht Club. Oh, very tight finish. Yacht Club Argentino just sneaking it in ahead of the Royal Bermuda Yacht Club, and after that is American Yacht Club, Eastern Yacht Club, Itchiner Sailing Club. San Diego Yacht Club nudged up 1 point to take 18th ahead of the Irish from the Hoth Yacht Club, and that closes out 19 teams. A fascinating day of light air and plenty of tide.
Well, guys, just look at how much can change in only one race in the Invitational Cup, where San Diego Yacht Club shot straight down to the bottom, and Royal Thames has comfortably put themselves into second place. But there's still one more race to go, so anything can still happen. We're going to be right here with you, bringing it to you live from Newport, Rhode Island, with Andy Green here, Katie Nastro on the water, and the man, Ken Reed from North Sails. So stay with us, folks. The conclusion of the Rolex 2021 New York Yacht Club Invitational Cup comes momentarily. The 2021 Rolex New York Yacht Club Invitational Cup is brought to you by title sponsor, Rolex. Regatta sponsors, Hammett's Hotel and Helly Hansen. Supplier, Team One Newport. And hosted by the New York Yacht Club. The 2021 Rolex New York Yacht Club Invitational Cup is brought to you by title sponsor, Rolex. Regatta sponsors, Hammett's Hotel and Helly Hansen. Supplier, Team One Newport. And hosted by the New York Yacht Club.
Welcome to Newport. The New York Yacht Club puts on such a great regatta.
19 teams from 9 countries over the past 11 races in 5 days have sailed in the 2021 Rolex New York Yacht Club Invitational Cup, and the winner comes down to this 12th and final race. Hello once again, I'm Tucker Thompson here at the New York Yacht Club, joined by my good friend Andy Green. And Andy, all week long for most all of the teams, the scorecard has been a game of snakes and ladders, with teams finishing up and down except for one. The most consistent has been Southern Yacht Club from New Orleans. They currently sit with a 13-point advantage as we go into this last race, but it is not over yet.
Now, they had a slightly shaky start right at the beginning with the 12-4, 5-6, 12. But, a 1-10-2 for Southern. They got a 10th place. That wasn't so good for them. San Diego also had a light start, but now we can see that Southern Yacht Club have consistently kept up in the top of the fleet, even when they were deep down in the dumps. They managed to get themselves back into the race and finish in single digits all the way through the rest of the race after their 10th in race 2. Their worst race yesterday, a 9th next up, but they've done great work, and now they held a 13-point lead over Royal Thames. So the leaders, Southern on 42, the second Royal Thames on 55, third San Diego Yacht Club on 66. They cannot get into the winning spots. And Royal Cork in fourth on 72, New York Yacht Club in fifth on 82, Royal Canadian Yacht Club on 84 in sixth. On board with Royal Thames, and the tide has eased off considerably. The breeze looks like it's up, and we're going to follow the racing. We've got great coverage here. We want to thank, obviously, Rolex as the title sponsor, but Helly Hansen, Hammett's Wharf, a bunch of other wonderful supporters, including, well, the membership and all of those at the New York Yacht Club putting on this super and spectacular event. It's been a real pleasure this week to commentate on such a high-quality event.
It certainly has. Possibly the biggest highlight of the year in sailing, certainly for us. And while you mentioned the sponsors, Andy, I'll roll through the rest. Hammett's Hotel, Helly Hansen, Team 1 Newport, and of course, North Sails. We had Ken Reed join us for the last broadcast. We apologize. He got pulled away, he had to run. But Andy, we are in the final minute and 30 to go to the start of race 12, the last race of this 2021 Rolex New York Yacht Club Invitational Cup. There is a chance for former winner Royal Thames from Great Britain to overtake Southern Yacht Club. They need 13 points to do it. As we said in the open, Southern maintains that advantage going into this last race. We'll see if they can hold on to it. San Diego Yacht Club's best shot, maybe overtake Royal Thames for second. And here we go. On board the fan favorite today, Yacht Club Argentino. 1 minute to the start.
Yeah, super stuff. Great to have these onboard footage. Amazing what quality has improved over the last 10 years of this event, and allowing us to bring you the action live and direct on a budget. Southern Yacht Club now on starboard. Oh, that looks like a very close port and starboard with Royal Thames. Surely there's a flag on the play there.
Bit of match racing, maybe?
Yeah. Red flag up, and I reckon that was a penalty against Royal Thames there. We'll keep our eyes on the umpires, the race committee, but certainly a bit of match racing. Not sure Johnny Greenland got it quite right there. You don't want to be on port when you're coming together in a match race, that's for sure.
And that's happening in the upper part of your screen, right near the signal boat end. Southern Yacht Club has done 2 quick tacks to head for the line. Royal Thames had to duck Southern on port. Now they're having to duck a few more boats. They're going to be shut out at the start. 5 seconds to go. Big trouble for Royal Thames. They're out of it.
Yeah. There's the start. Off they go at the pin. New York Yacht Club, a great start, just squeezing in front of the pin. But Royal Thames, doing their penalty circles, are in big trouble. And Southern Yacht Club are in the middle of the race course, definitely pin end favoured. But there's Southern Yacht Club in great shape, off the line, cool, calm, and collected.
And Andy Green, what a move by Southern Yacht Club. Meanwhile, San Diego Yacht Club went into today with a shot at first after 4 bullets in a row over the past 2 days, but that last race we saw this morning took them out of contention. It was a 17th. Meanwhile, down at the pin end, bottom of the screen, what do you make of the best start of the fleet? Andy Green, it is the New York Yacht Club number 19.
Yep, they have shown real moments of brilliance throughout this event, and that's why they're in 5th overall, and they'd be very happy for a bullet to end out their event. Royal Thames have now had to peel out, and they are towards the right-hand side, but they are a long, long way behind. Two turns, one or two turns, they may have got the penalty given to them. They may have taken a voluntary penalty. We'll give you that exactly. They did two, I think it seems like.
Yep.
And Royal Thames, all of a sudden, right out of the hunt.
I had a chat with a couple of the sailors on New York Yacht Club's boat last night. We've watched every single minute of every single race, and what I've noticed the most is the teams that have started at the pin and can put the bow down have done very well, and that's what New York has done twice. They won the pin in the last race, had a good race. They won the pin in this final race, and currently they're leading, heading upwind. But leading overall in the regatta on port now is Southern Yacht Club, Andy, heading to the right-hand side. Bit of cloud clearing there as the sun tries to poke out. Will that affect the breeze?
Yeah, they got a slight tight position there as we watch San Francisco Yacht Club clear themselves out as they duck underneath Yacht Club Argentino and Royal Bermuda. Yacht Club Argentino tack just to leeward of them. Royal Bermuda Yacht Club now tacking onto port. They haven't had their best regatta, but one of their first times here at the Rolex New York Yacht Club Invitational. Well done to getting all those sponsors in. They are extremely important, crucial to the fair and full running of this event. The boat show going on right now in Newport. Lots of those companies involved, and the Hammett's Hotel, one of the major participants with their brand new and beautiful hotel that they've got here and on the downtown waterfront in Newport. Southern Yacht Club tacking back onto starboard. Few too many tacks right out of the gate for Southern Yacht Club.
Glad you mentioned that.
Yeah.
I was noticing that as well. That's the bad news if you're a Southern Yacht Club fan. The good news is the one team they need to beat, well, they shut them out at the start. Thank you for playing, Royal Thames. Southern Yacht Club in the middle of the bunch right now.
Underneath Royal Cork, who are on 72 in fourth spot.
Interestingly, Andy, and of course, it all changes relative to the wind shifts, but on track currently, Southern Yacht Club is sitting in 16th. Is that correct? Do we believe that?
They had a couple of bad tacks there, to be honest. They just got bounced a little bit, and they're not in the greatest shape right there. They're now having to duck a couple of boats, and they've got a thin lane on San Francisco Yacht Club as Royal Bermuda just tacking top of them. They're on right of screen right there, and that's going to make it really difficult for them because San Francisco Yacht Club are now going to have to squeeze up. Southern Yacht Club just getting pushed back a little bit. Royal Thames in quite clear air going to this left-hand side, but they are long, long way back. The leaders, New York Yacht Club, with a very, very handy lead as the breeze is decent on the left-hand side. A tide. What is the tide doing?
Southern Yacht Club is heading to the left. Why? Because they are covering Royal Thames. Just in the lower part of your screen there, you just saw them all the way out to the bottom of the track there. Southern Yacht Club maybe not having a great race in this race number 12, but they are just trying to stay with and potentially ahead of Royal Thames. The difference, 13 points. They just want to stay in the same piece of water, not let Royal Thames get any leverage upwind or downwind.
Yeah, that's Royal Swedish Yacht Club just going across the bow of Southern Yacht Club, and in the distance there, that is the New York Yacht Club, who are on the left-hand side. No, that's the New York Yacht Club is still poking out to the left-hand end.
Yeah, punched.
Norotan. Pictures on board with them. They're in slightly dirty air from the New York Yacht Club. The New York Yacht Club leading right now on that left-hand side. They are committing to the left-hand side.
And that's New York just to windward of them, right of screen. These are your two leftmost boats. Behind them is Royal Thames and Southern Yacht Club, battling amongst each other. Southern is in a bit of trouble. They're sliding backwards. In fact, they might even slide behind Royal Thames after making them do two circles. We'll see. Meanwhile, Norotan will tack onto port, clear their air. We are on the farthest left-hand side of the course. New York is next to tack.
Helmsman Carl Ziegler on the Norotan Yacht Club boat there. They've just tacked out of the dirty air. That's bow number 7. Scott McLeod, the tactician. Those of you involved in the sailing industry will know Scott very well for his commitment to the World Match Racing Tour. William Crane, Christopher Daly, Janet Grappengetta, Tucker Hersham, Debbie Proust, and Howard Seymour from the Norotan Yacht Club. And very good team racing gang. I think they won the Masters or the Grand Masters this summer here at the New York Yacht Club in Sonars. They did very nicely indeed. I'm sure I'll be corrected on that, and feel free to chime in.
I was going to make a Grandmaster joke with Scott, but I'll leave that there.
Yeah.
Great overhead shot of the New York Yacht Club, and also of the trim on an IC-37. Keep it powered up.
Yeah, we got a question from the New Orleans Yacht Experience. Can you change the plates during the race? No, you can't. You can change it before the 4-minute gun, but you can't change it during the race. No, that is not allowed. They're trying to make these boats as simple as possible, and that would, I think, just be a little too complicated and also not terribly safe to take off jack pressure while you're racing. Heading upwind, we're on board with Southern Yacht Club. They've got to slightly dig themselves out of a hole here, but we've seen them do it many times before.
Yep.
I'm sure they can, and their main competition is also very close to them. Andrew Egan is the main sheet trimmer there, his brother Marcus, the tactician Tucker.
Well, let's bring Katie Nastro into the broadcast. Katie, we're about 2/3 of the way up this beat in this final race. What do you make of the breeze and the positioning of particularly Southern Yacht Club and Royal Thames?
Tucker, I again have the best seat in the house because I'm on the left-hand side of the course. Where actually more of the breeze tends to be filling in right now. The course has shifted left slightly, and these two boats are going to be just eyes on each other the whole time. Southern Yacht Club taking sterns to Royal Thames. I mean, it is just going to be a battle of who can put themselves in the better position and make sure that they can be ahead of their opponent.
Well, can you tell us how that happened? We just saw Southern Yacht Club duck Royal Thames after forcing them out at the starting line and spinning 2 circles. Now, all of a sudden, Royal Thames is ahead of Southern.
Yeah, you know, this is shifty conditions, and I think just it was a matter of making that kind of wrong call, and unfortunately for Southern, they're going to have to make up a little bit of gains. But again, it is right now. It is get your head out of the boat, see where the next shift is, where's the breeze coming from, sail your race, clean lane, and just keep eyes out.
And speaking of eyes out, Katie, long term, we're looking at a shot of New York Yacht Club, the leftmost boat, currently sitting in first or second, but as you look across from the left to the right-hand side, is that left going to hold, or what do you see?
I believe it's going to hold, Tucker, but again, we've seen just throughout the course of the day, the breeze has been up and down, shifting right a little bit, shifting back left. So hopefully, fingers crossed for this final race, these guys on the left won't have to worry about too much.
All right, thanks, Katie. We'll check back in with you. And Andy, if you are a fan of Royal Thames, the good news is they're ahead of the one boat they need to be in this regatta, Southern Yacht Club. However, if you're a fan of Southern Yacht Club, the good news is Royal Thames is going to need 13 boats between themselves and Southern Yacht Club to win it.
Yeah, that's going to be really tough to make that happen. And Royal Thames have got to go from where they are right now in 9th to basically leading, and they've got to hope Southern Yacht Club drop back a few. But if the breeze gets a little light and fluffy, that is possible.
Question for you as a former and successful match racer. In this fleet racing, can you match race another boat? Could Royal Thames go after Southern Yacht Club, ignore the rest of the fleet, and potentially give them a penalty?
They could do, but they've also got to finish. They've got to win, basically. So I think it's very unlikely that they can do that. Their opportunity really was at the start to try and bury Southern and then have a good start themselves. They didn't manage to do that. They tacked too close. They got 2 penalty turns. And there we go, Royal Thames right there. Great picture down of the Royal Thames Yacht Club Burgee, bow number 10, and the Union flag flying from the back of their boat. Not a traditional flag to fly on your British yacht. Usually it's the red ensign or the red duster they call it, but we're going for old school here.
Nation against nation, Yacht Club against Yacht Club. Royal Thames now ahead of Southern Yacht Club, Andy, Track has them sitting in 9th place, Southern in 11th. You can follow along, just as I said that, they jumped up to 8th. You can follow along on tracktrack.com and see every position of every boat and also replay the races while we follow them live on board with Southern Yacht Club. Jackets on. It's getting chilly out there, Andy.
Yeah, slight northerly came. This northerly just makes it a little colder as we get into September, the beginning of autumn, or fall, as the Americans call it. In fact, the British used to call it, well, it's about the fall of the leaves, I believe, and autumn the English way. But on board with Southern, great to see jib trim, just a little light on the jib trim, trying to keep the boat speed and the power on.
He's got the bow down, pace on, Andy. In the background there, upper right corner of the screen, the boat farthest away is the boat farthest out in front. It's Royal Swedish Yacht Club.
Yeah, I think that actually might be the New York Yacht Club, actually just ahead of them, and a little further on is the Royal Swedish. Just to the right top of screen is the Royal Thames.
There's Royal Swedish.
Yeah, the leaders right there. American Yacht Club doing very nicely in there. Hoth all the way out to the right-hand side.
So is New York. This will be an interesting top mark. Royal Swedish is going to tack onto starboard ley line. There'll be one tack down against New York, who is potentially close enough to lee bow. I can't really tell until we get them both in frame. So we head to mark number 1, the top mark, leg number 1, the final race of this Invitational Cup.
Yeah, Royal Swedish Yacht Club, as you say, tacking back onto starboard. The next cross will be crucial for fans of the New York Yacht Club. There we go, just panning out a bit there. Here comes the cross. There's Norotan. There is New York Yacht Club. As New York and Southern come, New York and Royal Swedish Yacht Club come together.
Any lefty in New York could really take the first place at this top mark rounding.
Yeah. They're getting pretty close to it, and Royal Swedish Yacht Club look to be on ley line. Close behind them is Norotan and Royal Vancouver and American Yacht Club, all in the hunt. Royal Thames a little further back, but they are slightly ahead of Southern Yacht Club. There is a slight hint of left-hand shift as we get towards the top. This number 1, the first windward mark.
Maybe we can change the shot, go to live pictures down on the water.
We've got New York Yacht Club coming in, and I think Southern there. So to the right is Royal Thames Yacht Club. They need to keep penalty free from here on in, and that's why they've had to tack onto starboard, and I could easily see Southern now ducking under these boats.
This is the pack of boats coming from the far left. Meanwhile, your leaders are approaching from the top right as Southern sets up to duck on port. Royal Thames is just behind Southern on their port windward quarter.
Yeah. And Thames are going to slam dunk them.
Oh, is that Royal Thames? Sorry, I had the wrong boat.
Yeah. Royal Thames slam dunk, and Southern have to tack away. So that is just the right thing to do for the Royal Thames. That's their one chance at sort of bouncing Southern back, and that will make it difficult for Southern to get in on the starboard ley line. Royal Thames now ducking under Nylandska Yachtklubben from Finland.
Big starboard train out there, Andy. These guys are going to have to get back and get in it at some point. There are your two leaders.
This might work out well for Royal Thames, actually, because there is a little gap between the 4 boats at the top, or the 3 boats that are coming up towards the top mark. Royal Thames are now coming into that little gap ahead of Royal Bermuda Yacht Club. So a little bit of a sniff here for
Can you imagine?
The Royal Thames.
Both of the Southern and Royal Thames have won this event before. The only 2-time winner is Royal Canadian Yacht Club, currently sitting in 6th overall. Meanwhile, at the top mark, New York Yacht Club, skippered by current Commodore Chris Culver, the only sitting Commodore to ever compete in this competition, although there are, or helm in this competition rather, there are 4 Commodores total competing, sitting Commodores. Here we go, New York, top mark, first place. Bearaway set, Andy.
Yeah, standard bearaway set now, so that gives you the idea that there hasn't been a big right-hand shift. But
Wow, good set by Royal Swedish. That was fantastic.
yeah,
And there's the gap you were talking about, Andy.
Royal Thames, where are they?
Yes, where are they? What Royal Thames?
10.
Number 10?
Yeah, they're number 10. So they're actually just struggling to get to that windward mark. I think they tacked a little shy of ley line. We've got bow number 3, the Southern Yacht Club coming in. Here we go. There we go. Bow number 10. That's Royal Thames, just squeezing it up there. And Southern have kept in the hunt. They're okay. Andrew Shaw just looking back, seeing where the Southern Yacht Club are. Just having a little joke on board. Keeping it light and airy. Well done, boys.
And just look at the crowd of boats, including the regatta leader in the middle there.
Bit of tide still against them.
Let's bring Katie Nastro back in. I know she's at the top mark on the boat that is bringing us these shots. Katie, how is it out there?
Tucker, it is just beautiful. Seeing all these boats with all the different country flags on their spinnakers coming around this windward mark, heading downwind. I think the types of conditions we're going to see are very similar to that last race. I know Ken Reed had mentioned that if you just keep some pressure, ride it out, and then soak low, I think that's going to be the name of the game for this downwind leg.
Nice. Sun's coming out. Breeze is going to hold for this final race. I know we had a question when the breeze got really soft whether we'd get this final race in. No question about that now.
Yes, that is for sure. It is definitely a little lighter out there. So, these boats are not dinghies, but they are definitely sailed similarly, where the crew weight can actually be a make or break with the boat speed. So it's definitely a little bit lighter, but that sun, that feels nice.
And we keep saying, Andy, that Katie's got the best seat in the house out on the water, but after the finish, whoever the winner is, she's going to jump on board with them so that her view gets even better. She gets all the fun jobs.
Well,
Andy.
Tucker, I am going to come on board, but the regatta will be over, so I can't mess it up for anyone after that point.
Have you been on board Southern Yacht Club this week?
I have not.
Not yet.
Oh, geez.
Save the best for last. But then Royal Thames is ahead of Southern Yacht Club, Andy, right now, and Southern's goal is to stick to them like glue, not let them get any leverage or separation away with this fleet as it heads downwind. And there's New York Yacht Club out in front of Royal Swedish and everybody else. What a way, if this stays as it is, Andy, what a way for New York to wrap up this final race of this 7th edition of the Invitational Cup in their home waters.
Yeah, well, they've had some great results. They've had some not so good results. They've been a little like the flags on the pole here at Harbour Court, up and down all day long. And this one looks like the Commodore's flag is flying high for the New York Yacht Club. Well done, Chris Culver and his gang.
Top 5 right now, very respectable. I know every team wants to win, but top 5 in the Invitational Cup is no small feat. Now, Andy, Royal Thames has jibed, and Southern Yacht Club is not. We're seeing a split. I'm just going to bring Katie back in here. Katie, the one thing that Southern does not want to have happen is let Royal Thames get a lot of leverage to the opposite side. Royal Thames is jibed. They're heading right as we look upwind, and Southern Yacht Club is not. They're splitting to the left.
Yeah, that's correct, Tucker, and I apologize if it gets a little hard to hear me. We're on the move as we make our way downwind. It is a bit of a split, but I don't anticipate it to really make or break this downwind leg for either boat. Both of them sail extremely well with their crews, and again, like I mentioned before, it is lightening up, so the fleet will definitely be condensing as we get further and further downwind.
All right, thanks, Katie. And Andy, yesterday you and I had the good fortune to see Tom Whidden down on the docks. You remember a certain race he was sailing in here in Newport when the competition from behind jibed away on the downwind run. I believe it was 1983. That didn't go so well.
Fortunately, he's won a few since then. Here we go.
Certainly has. What a legend.
Jibe from right up top for the New York Yacht Club. Lovely. And there's all the weight goes to windward. The chute is filled. The mainsail goes out. A little bit of a pump on the mainsail. And off they go towards that downwind mark. Looks like they're in pretty decent breeze. There's the Royal Swedish Yacht Club. And they are just ahead of them is the New York Yacht Club as they all head towards the right-hand side of the racecourse now on port. Everyone's starting to peel away. Southern Yacht Club still continuing. They're in rather a train. Here we are on board with Southern. I'd expect to see them to jibe relatively soon. Johnny Lovell just showing a little nerve. Quite unusual for him. He's a pretty laid-back, chilled guy. I guess that's what happens when you live in Mardi Gras country. You only get up when the party's really ripping. He's just looking at the boats to leeward, just to see whether he can jibe away. And the boats to leeward are of him, just underneath him, are Yacht Club Italiano and Yacht Club Costa Smeralda. The question is, can he jibe and clear them? Probably can, but maybe it's starting to look more and more often down to that, just that leeward side, because they know that the Royal Thames are way, way out to the other side of the race course, and and the tide sort of, there he is. He's starting to encourage them. Come on. How do you say it in Southern?
Y'all.
Y'all, come on, you jibe, y'all. There we go, Southern Yacht Club. And it's getting light in that corner too. That's why he wants to jibe, because look how light it is on the Jamestown shore.
Well, that and also being on the shore is not fast for a sailboat.
Yeah, the only thing good for that shore is digging for treasure. But they're not doing a very good job of it right there, because they are getting right out to the ley line. Everyone else jibing inside them.
Way too soft back by that top left corner there.
Ugh, they finally managed to jibe. But look how soft it is up there.
Where is Royal Thames, Andy? Don't tell me there's 13 boats between them and Southern Yacht Club.
No, Royal Thames actually haven't had such a good downwind here, and they've just been jibed on by Nylandska Yacht Club as well. They need a little shift going their way, or they need it to go very light in that corner. It's not looking light enough, though.
Royal Swedish, if they want to be invited back.
Need to go away.
Right, this is now, we're looking to the future. The 2023 Invitational Cup. Keyword there, invitational.
Yeah.
I hope we get invited back, Andy.
You can apply to
commentate.
I'm sure it's a short list. I'm sure that a lot of the teams watching will want to compete in the Resolute Cup for those American teams, and if you are a member of a yacht club around the world, feel free to put in your application to get involved in the Rolex New York Yacht Club Invitational. It's quite a special event, as you have all seen, and
there's nothing like it.
We appreciate all of your comments for this amateur Corinthian event. It really is quite unique and a lot of fun.
On board, current regatta leader, Southern Yacht Club. They've all jibed now onto port, away from Jamestown, away from Connecticut Island, and just keeping an eye over their shoulders to the far right side of the course as we look upwind. Their closest competition, Royal Thames, also a former winner of the Invitational Cup.
Royal Thames nudging back into it. They've got them at 4th now, and they've got the Southern at 8th, so that's 4 of the 13 points. Going to need to do a bit more than that. Looking out of the window here from our commentary booth at the New York Yacht Club, we can see all the preparations going on. That's
no, don't tell them we're here at the New York Yacht Club. Everybody thinks we're out on the water, Andy. You just let the cat out of the bag.
Oh, well, the magic of TV. We've got all sorts of monitors all around here. We've got our fantastic team from Icarus helping get those brilliant shots. And every year that we do this, the TV pictures get better and better.
And we've got Katie Nastro out on the water. Let's see if we can bring Katie back in to give us a sense of whether Royal Thames has made up a few points on Southern Yacht Club or not. What do you see, Katie?
I see the breeze filling in just a bit, but I don't anticipate that, unfortunately, they're going to be able to make a huge gain within 13 points. 4 is good, but like Andy said, it's not going to be good enough. They really need to do something fantastical on this next upwind leg. But the breeze is holding, and like I just mentioned, it is up a bit. So I think we're going to have a pretty good show for this next upwind leg.
Nice.
But
Yeah, what a good race to end on.
Southern Yacht Club look at a little jammed in there. They sort of look like they're on ley line, and there are a bunch of boats coming down towards that ley line, jibing on top of them, as we see Royal Thames now fighting for third and fourth place, and the Royal Swedish Yacht Club, they might be able to jiggle their way, as we saw in the last tricky race. Royal Thames jiggled their way up to the top. We can see them coming into screen now in third place. So it's never over.
Well, they've got a 7-point advantage currently. If things stay like this over Southern Yacht Club.
They're ticking away.
Yeah, 2 or 3 back for Southern Yacht Club and 1 or 2 up for Royal Thames.
It's always like this at the end of the Invitational Cup, isn't it? You keep everybody guessing till the very last moment of the last race. Certainly that was the case for San Diego Yacht Club last year. They made a charge for the front for the past 2 days, 4 bullets in a row, can't argue with that, but now they seem to have fallen apart. Meanwhile, Southern Yacht Club with the yellow spinnaker, the golden winning spinnaker, has done everything they can to shut out Royal Thames at the start. Andy, Royal Thames has come back with a vengeance.
Yeah. Wow. This is amazing. Well, this is amazing. If Royal Thames can nudge this forward and Southern start to get blanketed by some of those boats to windward, no, it's not possible. I don't think it's possible.
Oh, anything.
The other teams have collectively given money to Royal Thames to just take Southern out.
Royal Thames dropping British pounds all over the race course for the other teams to pick up. Listen, I keep saying it like a cliche. Anything is possible. I mean, I thought Johnny Lovell had a fantastic start, and their competitor was dizzying, spinning circles behind, and now Royal Thames is in third. There's Southern Yacht Club with a lot of wind shadows to work through as we approach the bottom of the track. Katie, which side looks good upwind?
Tucker, the breeze is up, as I mentioned, but it looks pretty great across the race course. So I think it's going to be a split again, looking upwind.
Okay, so we're going to watch that split and see where Royal Thames chooses to go upwind and how Southern Yacht Club will manage it. Southern's gotten closer, Andy, at least geographically on the race course. Track still has them in 10th, when Royal Thames in the top 5. Royal Thames actually has dropped back to 5th. It's very hard to look at the scores on track as the team approaches the bottom marks, because everything shifts quite quickly as the fleet comes together. Then, as they spread out again after they round the mark, this is where the story will be told. Case in point, Royal Thames just jumped back up into third. They've jibed for the bottom marks onto port, just ahead of 2 other teams, Noroton and Nylenska Yacht Club. And meanwhile, Andy, New York Yacht Club out in front in first, and here Southern Yacht Club is looking for clear air, any kind of lane to just keep the game close to win the regatta.
Well, Southern Yacht Club just need to get around this bottom mark safely. That's all they really need to do from here, and I suspect that they're going to be able to do that. But if they get into an incident, or if they get into a little bit of close quarters at the bottom mark and don't quite get it right, that will be very tough for them. And we've got some other battles around the race course for some of the other placings, which we'll bring to you as it gets clearer. There's the so New York Yacht Club like that.
The left looking upwind. Look at the far right, Andy. It looks almost dead out there. No breeze.
Mm-hmm. And that's where if you're behind like Southern, you sort of get pushed that way. It reduces your opportunities, your chances. New York Yacht Club leading very nicely. The breeze up a little bit, more like 10 or 11 now.
Royal Swedish Yacht Club doing a great job confirming their invitation for next year.
Yeah, well done them. Yep, just after you, Commodore. Royal Swedish Yacht Club doing a great job. That is a very famous and storied yacht club. Now, this will be interesting. Royal Thames going around that left-hand mark as well in third spot. And where are Southern? Southern are looking at the moment on track in
big
11th.
Crowd. Big crowd too.
Yeah. So that is.
I'm not going to say it.
8.
I think everyone watching Southern Yacht Club is starting to get on the edge of their seat. Order a few hurricanes. That's a drink, by the way, down there, not the storm.
Okay.
Royal Thames. In third and counting. There's Southern Yacht Club, the Golden Spinnaker.
They're not on the inside of Royal Cork either, so Royal Cork are going to go around inside them.
Is Southern set up for the right? It definitely looked light to the right. Once we settle this fray out, the mayhem, we'll check back in with Katie to see whether the left is definitely got the advantage. That's where Royal Thames is headed. So is Royal Swedish, and your race leader, New York Yacht Club. Meanwhile, on board with Southern Andy, they're going to the right side.
Oops. Not a great rounding. I mean, I guess they're in clear air. That's their only advantage. But Southern Yacht Club now down to, 10, 11, 12th is about where they're at. Oh, they're not making it easy for anyone's anyone with heart problems. Look away now.
Man, if you're a Southern Yacht Club fan, hang on, because this show isn't over yet.
If this right-hand side collapses, they're a big bother.
Now, also, we want to point out Royal Cork. They've competed in every single edition of this event, along with New York Yacht Club. And they have got an outside shot at the podium. They've got to beat San Diego Yacht Club, and they currently are.
6 to tie, but they'd lose the tie break
Where is
because
San Diego?
San Diego got more wins.
How do you get 4 bullets in a row and then finish at the bottom of the track in the last couple races? I'm sorry, but San Diego Yacht Club is struggling in this final race.
17th, San Diego Yacht Club.
They went into today with a solid shot at winning. So, tough. Meanwhile, Royal Thames has maybe not a solid shot, but certainly a very strong outside shot at trying to overtake Southern. They need leverage. They need a split, and they have it. They're going to what we think is the correct side. Katie will bring you in for a confirmation. Left-hand side is Royal Thames. Out to the right and tacking on starboard, the rightmost boat, is Southern Yacht Club. What do you see?
Yeah, that's correct, Tucker. I think Royal Thames made the smart call by choosing that left-hand gate. When you look upwind and heading out towards the left, there is definitely more pressure on this side of the course, whereas that band that Andy mentioned, it's not looking too great on that right side.
Oh, Southern have just bailed out from the right-hand side and now are tracking back towards the left, but there is a lot of boats to their left, so if that breeze comes in, Southern now looking in better shape. They're back up to a solid 9th spot. They've got it coming together with Royal Vancouver.
But still, I mean, it is far from over. I'd love to listen in on Southern Yacht Club.
Oh, that right looks bad.
Yeah.
The left looks very good.
Those are technical terms from Andy. Bad, good.
Let's keep it real simple here, because that's what it's about.
In front, good. Not in front, bad.
Remember, 13-point lead. Very, very hard for the Royal Thames to overturn. But possible. Unlikely, but possible.
I believe that's the shot of your leaders. New York has pulled forward over Royal Swedish. There's a bit of a split behind them, with the fleet spread out left and right. And again, if you look at the far left corner of the screen, upper far left corner, that's the right side of the racetrack if we turned around, and it is just light and soft. Even Southern Yacht Club has given up their leverage to that side, and they're on starboard, somewhere in the middle of the pack now, according to Track. Looking at Royal Thames. Royal Thames sitting in 3rd.
Can they cross the Royal Canadian Yacht Club? That's the question.
Boy, New York has just got pace. They are chomping through this beat.
Yeah.
On board, Royal Thames, currently 2nd overall in the regatta. Going back for more to the left.
Yeah, right. Actually, they're going all the way towards Connecticut Island, Jamestown.
Well, they just need to roll the dice and get as far away from Southern, as much leverage, as many boats between them and Southern Yacht Club to win it. The delta, 13 points. What is it right now, Andy Green?
It is
3-9, 3rd to 9th.
6. So they're all right. But Southern Yacht Club, it's only 100 meters between them and 15th. And Royal Thames are
Great footage.
50 meters ahead, maybe a little more.
Middle left, most amount of breeze as Royal Thames tacks onto port to connect with the rest of the fleet. Those
Yeah.
starboard tackers are Royal Canadian, Royal Swedish, and New York, your leader, far upper left of screen. Look at Royal Thames go. They might have moved into second here, Andy, if they can get across these two boats.
It's absolutely critical cross right here. Absolutely critical. Are they going to do it?
Hike hard, hike hard.
Oh, it's going to be close.
Oh man, that is close. I think they've got it.
Yeah, oh, not by much.
Now,
though.
what about Royal Swedish?
Yeah.
And if they don't get
3
across
meters.
Royal Swedish, Andy, there's still just a tiny bit of pressure to the windward quarter of the Swedish boat.
They don't need to get ahead of Royal Swedish. All they're hoping here is that the Swedes don't tack on them.
Well, they'll take every point you can get right there. Motoring through the water right now. I think that left shift that they were in is just starting to phase out. Royal Swedish has got it comfortably.
Look at the crew on the Royal Swedish boat. If they start to move, look how light they're going there.
Yeah, very.
And there's a little bow down. So Johnny Greenland just anticipating the tack. So we put the bow down, go fast, just try and discourage them from tacking on top. And it looks like they're clear. So that's good. If you're a fan of the Royal Thames Yacht Club.
Now, to be fair, Royal Swedish, they're not in contention for the lead, and Royal Thames is. That was a bit of a courtesy.
Yeah, look at the difference in heel angle, though. They got more power on the Royal Thames Yacht Club boat, and they just went a little soft, a little light
Compared
on
to
the
Royal
Swedish
Thames,
boat.
the main looks deeper. The Swedish main looks a bit flatter, a bit more bladed out, different mode.
Yep. I think the Swedish may have one too many bricks in the bottom of the mast shims that you put in for tension. They just look a little less powered up.
Meanwhile, on board, the reigning regatta leader going into this last race, still out in the lead overall if you're a fan of Southern Yacht Club. Currently sitting in 7th.
Showing them in
according to the
7th,
track
so they're okay.
Royal Thames in 3rd.
But they've got a bunch of boats on top of them. Noroton.
Here's the only two-time winner, at least up until this point, is Royal Canadian Yacht Club, Terry McLaughlin, and Southern Yacht Club's hoping to join that club and make it 2 wins for Southern Yacht Club in what have now been 7 editions of the Invitational Cup. And what a great boat for this regatta, the IC-37. Looks like a lot of fun to sail. Have you sailed them, Andy?
Yeah, I've sailed them a couple of times. Great fun boats. Yeah, when they were first out, I went for a couple of sails with them. Very interesting. The transition between light and heavy air on the downwind particularly, but as Kenny said, very simple, and so that's great for me.
Simple yet high performance, a lot of fun. Royal Swedish has gone to the far left-hand side. Royal Thames now up in the middle of the track, just to leeward there of New York Yacht Club, who's in the lead. If the breeze goes right, Royal Thames will take another valuable point over Southern. Southern is on starboard. Upper left of your screen going far, upper right of your screen going far left.
Yeah, Southern did the right thing to try and get in that left-hand air. There we go, well done. Super, but look, they're underneath Noroton, so they're in a tight little spot there, and when it comes to tack, they'll have to tack pretty quickly. They'll have quite a thin lane on Noroton.
Breeze gets a little bit soft if you get too far inshore, doesn't it?
Yep. And the tide turning a little, so they may be getting a little bit. There may be a little bit of favourable tide starting to come in now, where it turns first on the shore. But
7th place currently Southern Yacht Club. Royal Thames in 3rd. Remember, Royal Thames needs 13 points to win the regatta. It is currently Southern's event to lose. Looking strong. Any fan interaction, Andy, on Facebook or YouTube?
let's have a look. I'm seeing a lot of Go Southern, and they spell it G-E-A-U-X. I guess that's a nod to their French heritage.
Go.
Go.
They churn out some pretty darn good sailors down there in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Good food, too.
There you go. lot of fans for the Royal Thames really sniffing an outside opportunity. Tide changing a little now to a slightly fairer tide. If you've got any questions, just pop them in on the comments on Facebook, YouTube. Southern now up to 7th.
Left-hand phase.
Yeah. So actually, that's gonna help Southern a lot. Southern actually legging it out towards the right-hand side. They crossed over 2 crucial boats: Yacht Club Costa Smeralda and Nylandska Yacht Klubben from Finland.
So that's Southern in front of this pack of 4, right, Andy?
Yeah, exactly.
Center of screen on port.
Yep. So that's good for them, and they wouldn't want to be in this pack to the right here, because that's Nylandska Yacht Klubben, Yacht Club Costa Smeralda, and bow 15 Royal
Vancouver's in a tough spot with a boat on their lee bow and a boat on their breeze to windward.
Yeah.
There's only one way to go when you're in that spot. Katie, you got anything? I think I just woke her up.
Yeah, Tucker, looking upwind, the breeze is definitely steadying out. It's that right corner, though, is a little weaker, but something is behind it. It's going in a bit. So I think this last downwind leg is going to be pretty exciting.
All right. That's all Royal Thames has left, that final run, to put some points over Southern Yacht Club, and Southern just hoping to keep the game close, which they've done so far. Andy, they're in a crowd of boats to that left-hand side, but at least they're bow forward. Most of the fleet approaching the top mark from the top left, except Yacht Club Argentina, our fan favorites. They have our 4th onboard camera. Here we are, on board. The Argentinian team.
Emilio Miguel, Christian Freyas, Facundo de Acheval, Jorge Eras, Gonzalo Julian Nandin, Ana Silva, Pablo Tadin, Toribio Tadin, and Maria Silva also doing great work from Argentina.
Yeah, and Andy, Pablo is an accomplished tango singer, as Tucker and I found out the other night, just to add a little note there.
I mean, you can't come to the New York Yacht Club without someone on your crew who's able to sing world-class tango,
Yes.
can you?
You better bring your A game.
Yeah, you're nobody. But the Irish came up with a little bit of a jig. I mean, everyone loves the Wild Rover after a couple of dark and stormies.
Who are these two? Far left of the race course, 03, and is that 07? 03 Southern. Oh, well, that's, of course, that's Southern. Okay.
Ooh, get a little tight there with Norotan just.
Royal Thames is in 2nd, are they? Come on, wow. This is an important cross coming up, Andy, on the lee bow. So in the background is New York, but coming from the left of screen is going to be Royal Swedish.
Andrew Shaw there just putting on a bit of main sheet. They're not quite laying, are they?
It's tight. It's a tight lay. And if Royal Swedish tacks on top of Royal Thames, it's going to hurt even more. Royal Thames is on starboard, though, Andy.
And being lifted.
Still can't see this. Okay, here we go. There's...
Okay, yeah. Royal Thames are in 3rd.
Oh, Royal Swedish has got it.
Yeah.
Actually, Royal Canadian might give Royal Thames a bit of trouble.
Yeah,
if they can get
not
across
a great
and tack
spot
on
for
them.
Royal Thames right there. They may just nudge back to 4th.
Royal Swedish just clamped right on top of the breeze of Royal Thames. Southern will be happy with that. Southern's still in a big crowd approaching from the far left out of screen, but uncontested in the entire regatta, Andy. Race so far, wire to wire for sitting Commodore Christopher Culver and crew of the New York Yacht Club, host club for the 7th edition of the Rolex New York Yacht Club Invitational Cup. What a way to wind up the last race of the regatta before a spectacular awards banquet put on by Rolex here on the lawn of Harbor Court of the New York Yacht Club.
Pete Levesque, the tactician, Peter Forsberg, Lindsay Gibbons-Neff, Ed Lebens, Ian Stork, Hannah Lynn, Alden Reed, and Patrick Shanahan.
I think Hannah Lynn is Billy Lynn's daughter, and she's sailing against her dad, Billy Lynn of Eastern Yacht Club.
And showing him a whooping.
Whooping.
You can only talk about that over family Christmas dinner.
or live on our broadcast as you just did.
What is this jibe set here?
Her dad and her brother as well.
Oh, and a brother. No, Barroway set.
Lots of families competing in this regatta. So many great parts of the Invitational Cup. There really is. Few events like this in the world. I can't think of any, to be honest with you. It's spectacular.
Expect Southern Wilson Trophy team racing.
Southern in 7th place, on board as they tack in a bit of crowd. Starboard ley line just ahead of Billy Lynn and Eastern Yacht Club behind them. You can't see them, but on Southern's lee bow is Norotan Yacht Club. Ahead of them,
I think they're all right. I think Southern are okay here.
Look at Johnny Lovell. He's not looking at that top mark. He's looking over at Royal Thames. I guarantee you he is. Royal Thames is jibed immediately. Now, what does Southern Yacht Club do, Andy? Bear away or jibe set and follow?
They got a jibe set as well, haven't they? I mean, I think that's the only thing they've. Yeah, he's pointing at them right there. He's like, let's go that way.
Yeah, they just want to stay close, stay in the same piece of water as Royal Thames. Don't let them get much leverage. Andy, this is the final run to the finish of the final race. This is the regatta for Southern Yacht Club. It is a jibe set.
They're so keen to get that spinnaker up. It's halfway up already. Don't foul.
Hang in there. Keep it cool.
Yeah.
Beautiful jibe set. Watch out for the limit mark.
The final downwind.
Now, if you're Royal Thames, Andy, you finish ahead of your competitor, that's what you needed to do, and there's not enough points. You'll be looking back through the whole regatta. Where could we have had a point here, a point there? Meanwhile, Southern Yacht Club, calm.
Don't do it, Tucker. That'll drive you mad. You can't do that in life or in racing. You can learn from your mistakes, but
don't dwell on them.
Oh, it's light at the top. Look at the bad air that Southern are in. So soft.
Royal Thames has already gotten through all those wind shadows, and meanwhile, New York Yacht Club heads for home, way out in front. Royal Swedish has lost ground to them.
Look at the difference in angle. Southern Yacht Club very high and very light. The boats down here got the breeze on. They're going much, much lower and much faster. Where we got boat speeds, we can stick in there. Contides, give us some work your magic, because I think that'll be a big difference.
Look how much lighter it is in the back.
Yeah.
There's Royal Thames, far right of screen, and there's your gold spinnaker in the center as Southern tries to stay with. Royal Thames is so slow.
So those are the speeds. Those are the speeds for the two front runners. I wonder if they've got magic. They can give us Southern Yacht Club's boat speed and any of the boats around them. We're really asking the tech to do a bunch here, but the slow Royal Thames just gives you an idea of how light it's getting on that right-hand side.
And they're starting to go bow up as well. I think you'd almost consider jibing here, wouldn't you?
Bow up is the thing. That's what's really going to hurt you if it goes that light. Oh, love it. Look at that. So Southern and Thames slowing down there. The two leaders doing more like 7.5.
But Southern's faster, and you can see why. That little bit of breeze just above them.
Yep. Look at that. Okay, if I'm going to really ask again, give me the speed for the first boat, the leaders, New York Yacht Club and Southern Yacht Club, and see what the difference is.
Divide it by 2 and give me the square root.
Yeah, right. Well done. He's typing it in feverishly right now, but this is great stuff. Lovely. And props to Track. There we go. Look at that.
Boom.
Ask and ye shall receive. So half a knot of difference maybe, but actually the light stuff's evened out over the race course now. But still, Southern getting a little nervous as it gets light like that.
It's still not over, Andy, is it?
No, but the only benefit for Southern is everyone's basically on port, so they're following them. So it's pretty much the same for everybody.
Listening in with Johnny Lovell and crew. We can't hear it, but I'm assuming pretty quiet on board.
New York Yacht Club leading over Royal Swedish Yacht Club, then Royal Thames Yacht Club, Royal Canadian, American, Norotan, then Southern in 7th. then Eastern, and then it's Nylander Yacht Club in 9, Royal Cork 10, Royal Vancouver, San Diego have come well back up now in 12th. Yacht Club Costa Smeralda, Itchena, Yacht Club Italiano, San Francisco, Hof, Royal Bermuda, Yacht Club Argentina, not having their best day. If it stays like this though, Southern would have to go all the way down to 16th, so I think that's pretty unlikely unless they foul. It is going light around the racecourse. What do we got from Katie? Is she down there? Can you hear us, Katie? What's the breeze?
Yeah, Andy, it might sound wild out here, but that's because I'm on one of the expert race committee boats. But it is soft, it is light, it is definitely not a nail biter in the sense of urgency, but definitely just it's going to take a little while for these boats to get downwind because of the drop in pressure.
Yeah. Good stuff on board with Royal Thames, and I think it might be just time running out here for Royal Thames, Katie.
Andy, I didn't quite catch that last bit, but Royal Thames, in a great position to finish out this race, but I don't believe that they are going to have the fleet condensed enough to be able to make a gain over Southern.
Yep. She might not have heard you, Andy, but she answered the question perfectly.
Beautiful.
Good job, Katie.
After 4 days, we're just totally in sync.
Yep, we knew by Saturday afternoon we'd have it going well.
I'm going to get out, sharpen my pencil a little here and just see where we're at.
Southern Yacht Club staying close enough to Royal Thames. Their eyes set on both that British boat to the far right and the finish line below them. Victory in their sights.
Bit of foul tide against the boats now, but not a lot of shift. So they've got a little more on port to do. Then they've got to jibe back. Look at that, Johnny Lovell, so cool.
Yep, might not have been their best race, but I think the shoulders are starting to come down. They're relaxing a little bit on board. I think even your math, Andy, couldn't screw this up.
Well,
as we come to the close of the final leg of the final race of a spectacular Invitational Cup, yet again here in Newport, Rhode Island, hosted by the New York Yacht Club, and of course, supported for so many, many years by Rolex.
well, Laura's given me a little maths, because if New York Yacht Club beat Royal Cork by 10, they move into 4th. And at the moment, Royal Cork are in 9th.
Oh boy.
And New York Yacht Club are leading by 110 meters.
And that would give the tiebreaker to New York, wouldn't it?
I think so. And Cork on San Diego by 7 points for 3rd.
Boy, it's all getting mixed up in this final race. This is why you got to watch every single race, Andy. You can't just tune in and out to our coverage. You got to be there for every minute.
Right, you got to be committed.
Changes by the second.
Yeah. Okay, both jibe now onto starboard. Let's just zoom in a little on the action track. So Royal Thames have jibed, Southern Yacht Club have jibed. And I like what Southern did there. They jibed before the whole pack behind them.
Yep.
And they got out to the ley line. They just jibed on that pack. And
Clear air. There's only 2 teams that could screw up Southern's breeze, Nylandska Yacht Kluben or Norotin. And you'll see them both perhaps come into frame behind Johnny Lovell's shoulders there to the right side. Can't really pan the onboard GoPro, but I think, Andy, they've got their eyes on it.
yeah, it looks like,
Look, he's waving them through.
yeah, there you go. He doesn't want them to jibe on their bad air, that's for sure. And did they wave through? Did they go through? Because Southern Yacht Club were on board with them. They are on starboard, so they have right of way to any boats that come in to screen on port. Cork in 9th. New York Yacht Club leading. So New York Yacht Club really want the Royal Cork to slip a place or two. And Royal Cork are right in the mix. They've got boats all around them. In fact, they've got 3 boats very close behind them. So for the places 3rd through 6th, keeping a close eye on that. And all the results that we give you here live are unofficial, because it's all about
That's right.
my maths. And
They will be official on the event website, which you can tune into after the finish of the last race. The scores will be posted, and the champagne will be flowing on the lawn of Harbor Court tonight as we set up for the awards ceremony.
champagne, is it, or sparkling wine? There's always a big debate at any of these events that we go to.
It's a celebration,
Celebration.
nonetheless.
Yeah.
Whatever you want, really.
Right, and for those non-drinkers, there'll be a bit of sparkling water or something else.
If you're the winner of this event, you can, I mean, lemonade. It doesn't matter what it is, you've earned it. Great race for New York, too.
Yeah, Yacht Club does a very good pink lemonade.
All right, Andy, if you win this event, it can be pink lemonade.
Yee.
But I think I just got another text of the Southern Yacht Club fans are watching down in New Orleans live, and very lucky in that last storm. Their club came through it really well, and it's beautiful, beautiful yacht club they have down there. I'm headed there next month, and they will be cheering in a few moments as we wind up the final race of this 7th edition of the Rolex New York Yacht Club Invitational Cup. Johnny Lovell and crew. One more jibe in it.
We do have a couple of questions. Why is it why is this leg 6? It's only 2 laps around. Well, from the windward mark to the offset is considered a leg on track. So it's actually, despite it being windward leeward, there's 3 legs per round. What class is this? Sandy Hyen. She is new today, I think. It is the IC37 Mark Mills designed.
Purpose-built.
Purpose-built and designed for this very regatta. Roger Mello says, great sailing in Newport brings back memories. Well done, Royal Bermuda Yacht Club. Well, anyone who's been to Newport and seen some of this wonderful sailing will know how perfect this location is. Inshore, offshore, hospitality and action all around. Vintage classics, moderns, boats, cars and mansions.
You want the good news, Andy?
Yeah.
See that American flag there?
Yeah.
They're headed for the finish line, which will be coming into frame shortly. If you are a fan of the New York Yacht Club, as I think everyone watching this broadcast definitely is, the home host club is going to win the final race. What a great way to wind it out for Chris Culver and crew.
Yeah. They'll be able to get their daily award for a race win today. That'll be make them very happy, and I think that'll nudge them, that'll keep them in the top 5.
And there it is, folks. After trying 4 times to qualify and represent his club, Commodore Chris Culver wins the final race and represents New York Yacht Club in spectacular fashion as we close out the Invitational Cup. Great job.
Very good.
All the spectator fleet is converging on this finish line to see both the winner of the last race, New York, and the winner of the regatta coming up. Meanwhile, Andy in 2nd place.
Royal Swedish Yacht Club as they come across the finishing line. Philip Engelbert, the tactician, Joanna Summerland, Anna Droeg, Joachim Ekdahl, Hannah Eriksson, Jakob Gustafsson, Jimmy Hellberg, Marcus Hoglander, and Gustav Pettersson. That is for sure mispronounced. My apologies right now.
And meanwhile, a well-sailed race for Royal Thames Yacht Club, Andy, finishing 3rd.
Yeah, very good. Well done, Royal Thames, Johnny Greenland and crew.
Royal Canadian just behind.
Yeah, in 4th place. I better keep up with the numbers here. Royal Canadian, that is in 4th. That puts them on 88.
American Yacht Club is approaching the finish line next. You can't see them, but they're coming left of screen. Stand by.
For 5th. Is that right, Tucker?
Yep. Oh, they've got one more jibe in it.
5th at 1:15.
And behind them, Andy, there is the golden spinnaker. Stand by for celebrations soon to come. But first, well done, American Yacht Club. Good finish for them in the final race. That'll help in the standings. 5th place.
Yeah, good work for Royal Swedish. That's their first race in the top 5 all week. Very nice to go out on a high.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, you're probably going to be able to hear the cheering from on the water all around the world. This team has won the Invitational Cup before, and they've done everything they need to do to outsail the other 18 yacht club teams here in Newport, Rhode Island. Your 2021 victor of the Invitational Cup, Southern Yacht Club. They've done it.
Put the beads around their neck the second time they've won it. Different helmsman. Hey!
Man, they have sailed well this week. No doubt about it. They have finished 6th. That's enough to give them victory. Behind them, Norotan Yacht Club, then Eastern Yacht Club, Royal Cork, and Nylandska Yacht Klubben. The top 10, Andy. San Diego Yacht Club finished 11th place. They had a shot at beating this team with the yellow and gold, the gold spinnaker, but it was not going to be San Diego's year again. This regatta belongs to Southern Yacht Club from New Orleans.
And Rick Merriman, their trimmer, Marcus Egan, the tactician, Andrew Egan, Christian Gramble, Joseph Kubel, Dwight LeBlanc, Katie Lovell, Mila Newman, and Rick Merriman, the main sheet trimmer, is the only person in New York Yacht Club Invitational history to win 3.
Oh.
Twice with the Southern and once with New York, I think, with the first one.
Wow. All right. Well done, Rick. Well done, the entire crew and the entire membership supporting Southern Yacht Club. This is a yacht club event, not just the sailors on board. It's victory for the entire membership of the Southern Yacht Club. It's beautifully well done. Yeah. So Andy, let's recap this week and let's take a look at what it takes to win the Invitational Cup. You know, when we started out roughly 11 races ago, well now 12 races ago, we had no idea what was going to happen, but we sort of predicted that in this regatta it's going to come all the way down to the last day. It always has, and throughout the week the consistent theme that I've been repeating is that this is a high scoring and challenging regatta. We've seen teams finish all over the leaderboard. Even Southern Yacht Club was not immune to a couple double-digit finishes, but they've been the most consistent team throughout it all.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm just crunching the numbers, and Southern Yacht Club, as you say, did a great job. They won the regatta with 48 points. We've had no changes in the top 5 for this last day, these 2 races. Royal Thames Yacht Club closed it out a little on 58 points. So 48, 58, and in 3rd, San Diego with 77. 4th, Royal Cork Yacht Club with 81. 5th, New York Yacht Club with 83. 6th, the Royal Canadian with 88. Yacht Club Costa Smeralda, 13 on their 91. That'll be.
You can see the smoke coming out
104.
as he works the math out here.
And San Francisco, they got a 15, so that's, I think, good for Yacht Club Costa Smeralda in 7th. San Francisco.
Wait for it. You do know we're on camera, right?
Yeah, right.
Stand by, folks. I can hear the Jeopardy theme song as Andy works out the answers.
109, Eastern Yacht Club. Well, that's the only one.
Can we get a calculator here for him?
They got 8 points, so that's.
These are unofficial, by the way.
106. I think Eastern and San Francisco may have switched. So Eastern get 8, San Francisco get 9th. American Yacht Club get.
You know, I make fun of him, but there's no
10th.
way I would do math live on a broadcast
Sweden
anywhere in the world.
11th for sure on 123. Royal Vancouver on. Well, you just tell me when we need to go to
folks, listen,
Katie, 136.
if your eyes are watering and circling in the back of your head due to all this number crunching, you can go on New York Yacht Club's website, the official event website, and see the real scores to confirm what Andy's saying. But once again, I give you a lot of credit for working all that out. It takes a 4th place average to win this 7th edition of the Invitational Cup, and that's exactly what Southern Yacht Club did. And what impressed me most, Andy, about them is not the fact that they were consistently in 4th or higher. It was when they were deep in the regatta. Twice we saw them in almost last. I think once they were in last place after spinning 2 circles, and then they clawed back up to a single-digit finish. That is what I think has really set this team apart this week.
Well, Norotan grabbed 2 overall points with their great result there. They go to 13th. Nylander Yacht Club and go to 14th, and Yacht Club Italiano in 16th. Then Itchner, Houth, and Hoth and Royal Bermuda. I'm going to hope for the best.
All right, now I'm going to try that again. Andy, Southern Yacht Club has been so consistent throughout this regatta, even when they were deep in the event. That what impressed me is that they clawed back.
Yeah,
to
a
good
10th
scores.
and a 9th, their worst two results, but otherwise they got a first, second, fourth, first, third, fourth, second, third, and today was a 6th for
That was
them.
enough,
So
yeah.
they did a very good job with 48 points, exactly an average of exactly 4. So
There's
well-
going to
well done them.
become a moment where I just
Go.
take that sheet away from them and crumple it up. But we're going to go back out on the water, folks. Live shots here in the top of Narragansett Bay. You are looking at the battle flag being hoisted for the Southern Yacht Club, and Katie Nastro is on board with the winners. Here we go.
Who dat? Who dat? Who dat? Everybody out. Who dat? Who dat? Who dat? Who dat? Who dat? Who dat Saints gonna beat them Saints? No one. Southern Yacht Club. Oh my goodness. Nobody beat you all. You were unstoppable. Invitational Cup winners. Johnny Level. My goodness, what an event. How are we feeling? This is the second time you've won.
Just it's incredible. It's an awesome feeling. Was really nervous today, and my team just did an awesome job.
Amazing team. Who do we have on board?
I guess starting from the back of the boat, Marcus Egan was tactics. My wife Katie was on the runners, and then
a great name.
We had Ricky Merriman on the main, and Andrew Egan trimming the jib and the spinnaker, and Christian offside trimmer, Christian Gamble, and kind of a hybrid doing some of the pit work. Maya Newman was in there working on the pit. We had Jay Kubel, Dr. J, he was on our team in 2017, and on the bow we had Dwight LeBlanc IV. So we had a wonderful team. They all did an incredible job.
Incredible sailing, incredible competitors. This Invitational Cup has been just a true amazing thing to watch. Your team in particular, that golden spinnaker, you might have had a target on your back, but unstoppable. Congratulations to you all. How are we celebrating tonight?
I haven't really thought that far ahead. I wanted to get the day over and hopefully win, and we did, so I'm sure we'll be celebrating. So.
Oh, we will be right there with you. I'm Katie Nasser from this Invitational Cup, Southern Yacht Club. Once again, who dat?
Who dat?
The 2021 Rolex New York Yacht Club Invitational Cup is brought to you by title sponsor, Rolex. Regatta sponsors, Hammett's Hotel and Helly Hansen. Supplier, Team One Newport. And hosted by the New York Yacht Club. Well, what a spectacular week of racing we have seen here in Newport, Rhode Island. And throughout it all, the New York Yacht Club has shown yet again their leadership in the sport of sailing through the Invitational Cup. This has become an event that the entire membership of the New York Yacht Club can be proud of, and members of yacht clubs all over the world can aspire to race in, particularly one who has now won it for the second time. Congratulations to all the competitors on board Southern Yacht Club and all the members supporting their team down in New Orleans. We also want to thank all the sponsors for making the Invitational Cup possible, starting, of course, with Rolex. We also have Hammett's Hotel, Helly Hansen, Team One Newport, North Sails, and of course, the New York Yacht Club. For Katie Nastro out on the water, Andy Green here in the studio, and our entire production crew, I'm Tucker Thompson. Thank you very much for joining us for the 2021 Rolex New York Yacht Club Invitational Cup. The 2021 Rolex New York Yacht Club Invitational Cup is brought to you by title sponsor, Rolex. Regatta sponsors, Hammett's Hotel and Helly Hansen. Supplier, Team One Newport. And hosted by the New York Yacht Club.